Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the eFootball.Pro League second match day here. Of course, the eFootball.Pro League is the world's first ever international esports competition for professional football clubs in conjunction with the Pro Evolution Soccer Series from Konami. My name is Adam Butcher. I will be your host for today's extravaganza, and I will also be helping out with the commentary on the live matches as well. But I'm not alone. We also have our wonderful Mr. Diego Lorin here, who usually is our data analysis person.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And obviously our reporter as well. But you've got a slightly different role today, haven't you? You've got an additional role.
That's it, Adam. I'm lucky enough to be sitting here in Adam's chair. And I don't know if it's the electricity, the energy that I'm getting from work, or if it's the 3 coffees that I had before, if somebody slipped something in my drink, but I'm very excited to be sitting here today next to you, Adam.
Absolutely. Can't wait to get going. Of course, for people watching at home, should we possibly go over what happened in Matchday 1, some of the results, some of the big talking points?
Absolutely, yeah, let's do that. As we see, we're going to see the results there as well on the screen, but the first match was FC Barcelona against Boavista. Barça ending up winning it 1-0. Of course, that first match ended up in a 1-1 draw.
Very tight, wasn't it, that first game?
Very tight.
Boavista were actually winning, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Diomite scoring in the 83rd minute. Pau ended up scoring in the 90th minute. Perhaps they took that momentum into the second game where Alex ended up taking the 1-0 victory and therefore the 3 points. It was a similar affair with Monaco against Schalke. Exchanging blows. The first match ended up 2-2, and finally Monaco winning the second match, therefore also the 3 points, and finally Nantes facing the juggernaut and Celtic, and El Torito and Luca ending up winning both matches and therefore the 3 points.
Yeah, it was frightening watching AS Monaco, their strike force offensively, but also FC Nantes as well, and obviously that's our first matchup, and we'll get to that very, very shortly. For you guys watching at home that might be a little bit confused as to how what we've just described works, basically each match is made up of 2 games, so in order for one of the teams to get 3 points, they have to win either both games, of course, or win one and draw one. If both teams win one each, it's a draw, so it's 1 point apiece. And of course, if both games end in a draw, it's again 1 point apiece as well. So of course, that is the table. Celtic FC top, followed by AS Monaco, just on goal difference, and Barcelona as well on goal difference there. And the 3 remaining teams, FC Schalke 04, Boavista FC and FC Nantes propping up the table there with no points. A lot to play for, of course. More importantly, possibly for those 3 teams trying to get back, because it could be, a 6-point gap after today, couldn't it?
And they don't want that to happen. And curiously enough, today, the teams that are facing each other, none of the teams that have the 3 points will be facing each other today. So we could either see the gap go up to 6 or everybody end up with 3 points, something crazy like that. It's very unpredictable.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we did actually do a bit of a competition on Twitter, and of course, eFootball.Pro is the tag there. We actually asked you guys at home to give us some actual questions for the AS Monaco players, and we have a little video of their response. So take it away, some of the AS Monaco players.
Si vous pouviez choisir un joueur étranger en dehors de la France pour rejoindre Monaco, quel joueur choisirez-vous? Chacun peut choisir un joueur, et bravo pour vos signatures à Monaco.
Alors déjà, merci pour la signature à Monaco. C'est un plaisir.
Merci bien toi.
Et ensuite, pour le joueur, si c'était juste eFootball.Pro, je pense qu'il n'y aurait pas de doute, ça serait ou Etorito ou Alguacil.
Non, c'est ça. Hein.
Sinon,
un joueur qui n'a pas de club, hors eFootball.Pro, ça serait qui toi?
Moi, j'aime bien Kepap, moi, le ferme.
Ah, moi, je choisirais bien un Mestré. Hein. Ouais. Mestré.
Allez-vous crier joie ou daguer-mounikou lorsque vous marquez des buts? Cette question-là, c'est comme ça. C'est notre ancien coéquipier. Et on répond quoi à cette question?
Oh, on répond joie. Non, on célébrera selon notre instinct, en fait. On calcule rien à l'avance. Et on verra sur le moment, selon ce qu'on ressent, ce qu'on répondra en fait. Hein.
Combien de temps pratiquez-vous PES chaque semaine? En fait, ça dépend. Hein. Il y a des semaines où, à l'approche d'une compétition, on va beaucoup plus jouer. Sinon, en temps normal, on est comme tout le monde, on joue surtout pour le plaisir. Mais vraiment, à l'approche d'une compétition, on va beaucoup plus jouer. Ça, c'est pour moi, ça. Plus Maccabi, que ressentez-vous à l'idée de rejoindre la compétition PES? Ouais, bah, on va dire que c'est le retour sur PES après 2 ans et demi d'absence, un peu plus de 2 ans quasiment. Donc beaucoup d'émotions, en plus de représenter l'AS Monaco, c'est une immense fierté, c'est un honneur. Et voilà, les deux combinés, voilà, je vais tout donner pour hisser très haut les couleurs de l'AS.
Quel rival est le plus fort lors de cette première saison? Moi je dirais qu'il n'y a pas de rival plus fort qu'un autre. Notre plus grand rival c'est nous-mêmes justement. On devra, parce qu'à notre meilleur niveau, personne ne peut nous battre. Donc notre rival le plus fort, c'est nous-mêmes en fait.
Quelle est la différence entre un bon joueur PES et un joueur PES professionnel? Bah, la différence, elle se joue surtout au niveau mental. Un bon joueur, ça va être un joueur qui est fort chez lui, qui va beaucoup battre ses copains et tout ça, mais la différence entre un joueur professionnel, c'est plutôt un joueur qui va mieux gérer le stress, qui va mieux gérer la pression en tournoi. Et c'est surtout à ce moment-là que la différence se crée.
À quel point êtes-vous confiant de remporter le tournoi? Franchement, on est très confiant sur nos capacités. On s'entraîne depuis août déjà, parce qu'on sait qu'on va jouer ensemble depuis août. On a cet avantage par rapport aux autres. Donc on a une totale confiance en nous. Maintenant, il s'agira de répondre présent sur les matchs, tout simplement, pour faire en sorte de le remporter. Hein.
Comment vous êtes rentré dans le gaming? Moi, j'ai commencé en 2015, pour ma part. J'aimais bien les tournois, donc c'était un plaisir de faire des tournois. Et après, au fil des mois, j'ai vu que j'avais un bon niveau, donc petit à petit, voilà, je suis devenu professionnel. Mais à la base, c'était surtout par passion. Et toi?
C'est ça, je pense que de toute façon, tous les joueurs, on commence vraiment par passion. On fait un tournoi, on voit que ça nous plaît, on continue. Et quand on commence forcément à remporter des tournois ou faire des très bonnes performances, c'est là qu'on devient professionnel et voilà. Et dernière question, combien de temps dure un match? Un match, normalement, ça dure 10 minutes. En compétition, ça peut durer un peu plus avec les différentes pauses. On va dire à peu près 15 minutes, tout simplement.
Voilà.
Yeah, lovely to hear the guys from AS Monaco. They're
boys, huh?
very confident indeed, and they rightly so after their performance in Matchday 1. Now, of course, their first match-up today is against FC Nantes, which we'll get to very briefly. Just remind the people at home the other 2 fixtures.
Right, today we'll also see Celtic square off against Boavista and Schalke against Barcelona.
Absolutely, so we'll get to those 2 games very shortly after the first game, which is, as I said, FC Nantes versus AS Monaco. And I believe the players are due in the tunnel, so we're going to go to a quick, we're going to go over there and see what the players are doing right now.
Hello guys, shake your hands.
So, of course, we have FC Nantes on your left-hand side, which consists of AS Boavista and Alex GRD. And, of course, on your right-hand side, AS Monaco, which are consisting of Neo Lotfi and Osmakabal. Now, Neo Lotfi is our youngest player in the tournament, aged just 19. But, boy, does he have some experience already, Diego.
Yeah, he does. He's certainly one of the standouts, and accompanied with another guy that doesn't have a pretty
You don't
good
need to say anything about him, do you? He's just huge in the game, yeah. Just enlighten some of the people what Osmakabal's done in the history of the game.
Well, he's 25 years old, and he was the PES League champion in 2015-16.
Absolutely, he was the first and only player to have won the tournament back-to-back, as you mentioned, in 15 and 16. So certainly a big name in the PES world. Of course, in terms of the 2 teams, Diego, we have possibly the more experience favouring AS Monaco, who also have the 3 points in the bag. FC Nantes bit more inexperienced, don't have any points so far. Is that going to play anything into today's fixture?
Well, we'll see, Adam. I mean, in defense to the guys of Nantes, I mean, they certainly surprised Celtic, who I previously mentioned are probably the tournament favorites, with all respect to Nantes, but they surprised them. They came back from 2 goals down, had the chance to go up 3-2, as you'll probably remember.
Yeah, it was a huge game, and we actually thought at one point it could be a real upset, didn't we?
Exactly. And after the game, speaking with Etorito, the game's most decorated player, he actually mentioned that Nantes is probably the best team in the game because all the stats are balanced, yet they have very tall strikers. They might have a slight advantage according to Etorito.
Yeah, just remind the people at home watching, you mentioned the stat balancing situation, but possible physicality being a difference for why certain teams are chosen. Just do you want to?
Yeah, I think the stats are balanced, so to make the game fair and balanced, I guess you could say, it really comes down to the individual or collective skill to win these games and to win the entire tournament. And perhaps some teams have certain advantages. Tall strikers up top. We'll probably see in terms of Barca, Messi not run as fast as you usually do because the stats are balanced. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We, of course, are just seconds away from kickoff. They're just going over a few last-minute tweaks to formations, team personnel. How important does that play a role in the actual result, getting that early formation and players right?
Well, what surprised me, Adam, and you're far more experienced than me. I'm very new to this game, to esports in general.
Yeah, you go.
But what I saw in the first match day, what surprised me is the little tweaks that the players will do, adjusting their formation from the beginning, but also throughout the match, to just the little tiniest of changes have detrimental outcomes, so I'm very curious to see how this game will pan out. What I will say as well, we're the teams that are now facing each other, Monaco, the team that has currently the most shots on goal, with 15, if I'm not mistaken, is facing a team with the most fouls in the tournament. So I think that means that we're about to see a very electric match and also very hard fought.
That brings me on to my next question, Diego. Where's your money? What's your prediction? We want the first game here.
Adam,
I see 2 teams who are incredibly offensive, and I see it where the team that's going to come on top is whoever can deal with the other side of the game, the ugly side of the game better. Who's going to win?
I don't dare say, Adam. I really don't dare say.
Sitting on the fence in match day.
I have to sit on the fence. I don't want to be a victim of the commentator's curse. And if anything has shown me football, but also esports, is that my predictions are usually wrong. So I don't want to, give my
Jinx
curse
them
to any of the teams there.
One final question before we start. Of course, FC Nantes kind of put all their cards on the table against Celtic, played really well, and probably should have had more, came out with nothing.
Yeah.
Do they alter the way they play because they're up against another fantastic team, or do they go with that and hopefully it's a better result?
Well, they're going to come out hungry, right? They're going to come out knowing that they need those 3 points. They don't want to be down at the end of this match day, down with 0 points. So I'm expecting to coming out guns blazing, to be honest, Adam.
Absolutely. So we're expecting an electrifying game. Hopefully it lives up to the billing here. The first game of match day 2, and it's AS Monaco with the early chance, and it's a right foot shot from Silla by the looks of things, and the goalkeeper made a smart stop there, but warning signs for FC Nantes, Diego.
Right away. AS Monaco wasting no time, trying to get on the score sheet early, trying to get that goal advantage already in the early minutes.
And we did see in match day 1 how important those early goals proved to be in a lot of the games. There was only 1 turnaround in the whole of match day 1 as the ball gets played through here, but it's a brilliant response here from FC Nantes, and they almost took the lead there. Another smart stop, and it's living up to the billing, Diego.
Back-to-back, exchanging punches right off the bat. We see the first chance on the hands of Monaco, but also Nantes coming right back, answering with a very good chance of their own.
Absolutely, end-to-end stuff. 6 minutes gone here, FC Nantes 0. AS Monaco 0, and it's a corner, the first set piece of the day. And of course, what we forgot to mention, it's not really a French derby, but because the 2 teams are from France, it's almost a bit of a derby, isn't it,
Can we
Diego?
call it a derby? I want to call it a derby.
We're going to call it a derby. An eFootball.Pro derby here as the ball gets whipped in towards the back post. And the goalkeeper makes a smart claim there. He's wearing a kit which is a little bit similar to the FC Nantes kit. of course, which was a bit confusing for some people, possibly, as Silla goes down the left-hand side, a chance to play it back to Golovin, and he's got support in the centre, but he's just held possession here. Something that AS Monaco did very well in that match day one was the ability to hold on to possession.
Yes.
And it looks like they were trying to do the same there, but they've been pickpocketed there, and the ball gets played out towards his left-hand side, and it's Kolo who has the chance to play it back in field. It's just got a little bit bitty, a bit scrappy after a lightning first 5 minutes here, but AS Monaco come again through the middle, out towards the right-hand side. A chip over the top that's proved so dangerous in the first match day, and almost proved so again there, Diego.
Yeah, safety first, safety first, well done. I think they're just both really, really eager to get on the score sheet early, get a goal advantage so they can maybe sit back and play a little bit more defensive style of football. You mentioned earlier the possession stats. Something that called my attention as well is that AS Monaco was the only team that won that enjoyed more possession.
Absolutely. And are you seeing anything formation-wise from this? I mean, they seem quite similar in the way they've set their teams up so far from what I can see, and it's just got a little bit stalematey almost at the moment with 17 minutes gone after those flurry of 2 chances after 5 minutes.
How
are they going to break the deadlock here?
A little bit cagey. I think we might see them going for some long balls. We see right here, looking for their strikers, the boys up top. We're trying to put the through ball in, but Monaco's very, very tight in defense, very disciplined right now. As we see the goalkeeper play another long ball, it's not really much of a build-up from the back, is it? They're looking for long balls, looking to look for the strikers quite early.
They're kind of, it feels like they're rushing that final ball just a little bit, and that's possibly why it's breaking down. They just need a little bit more composure, but it's a chance here for FC Nantes through the middle, in towards Kolo. Ball over wonderful pro-evolution soccer from FC Nantes, and they've responded to their defeat last week, Diego.
With a goal, a fantastic goal for that matter. Beautiful little chip over to the fence, and the striker there wasting no time in slotting that to the back into the net. Well-deserved goal.
Absolutely. We thought that possibly there might be a turn-up for the books last match day against Celtic. Well, we've possibly got another one here as the ball gets played over the top. It's a wonderful chip-through ball from Kolo, and he made absolutely no mistake on that right foot, and it's exactly what they needed, Diego.
Absolutely. Wasting no time. Just hitting that first touch, not wasting time in controlling the ball. No, he sees the opportunity, slots it into the near post, and Nantes go up 1-0.
We talked about how FC Nantes potentially might be a bit inexperienced at this top level. But well, they look very calm and composed there, Diego.
Absolutely. As they did when they faced Celtic. And we have to, as we see Monaco here.
Almost an instant response there from AS Monaco, just cleared away by Nantes. And we said at the time, at the start of the game, it would be who could possibly deal defensively better. And so far, FC Nantes defensively have looked very, very solid against
very disciplined. Absolutely,
great AS Monaco team, I might add. But there's that through ball over the top again. The same sort of chance that FC Nantes took, they were unable to take this time. 27 minutes gone. And you see a wave. Oh, it's a chance here for 2-0.
Caught sleeping. Catches the defense off sleeping. Let's see what the beautiful little bit of skill.
What a save from the goalkeeper.
What a save.
And it really could have been 2-0 for FC Nantes, who are playing the game of their lives so far. Of course, FC Nantes kicking from left to right in the all-yellow, and AS Monaco in the red and white, kicking from right to left. I got a bit mixed up between
Monaco
right and white then.
Defensive line very high up the pitch. Wouldn't you say so, Adam?
Absolutely. And you're looking down at the bottom right-hand side, the players, and Usmakabar's looking very frustrated early on here.
Yeah, he certainly is. But give the boys to Nantes some credit here, facing Celtic in their first match, and now the juggernaut in Monaco, and doing very, very well indeed.
Absolutely. We all thought that they were hugely unlucky against Celtic last week. He's in again here. That through ball over the top, Diego, every time.
Every time. Something has to change for the Monaco defense if they don't want to concede more goals. Because right now, Nantes, you have to say, is looking very comfortable, looking very confident as well.
Absolutely. So 35 minutes gone here. FC Nantes 1, AS Monaco 0, as the ball gets played down this left-hand side, and a chance for support through Silla in the middle. And he's still going here, looking for Golovin, and it's just clear. Again, defensively, Diego, FC Nantes have been stupendous.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do to break that discipline and solid defense here? As another ball goes over the top. Can he make it 2-0? And he does!
And
that's 2-0.
And FC Nantes are taking this game by the scruff of the neck, and they're looking like the experienced pair here, Diego.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. You think that they have switched roles, because right now, as you mentioned, not looking like the experienced team, as if they've been playing together for many months or years for that matter. Monaco needs to step it up.
Well,
what has to be changed here?
Absolutely. Big thinking going on there for Neo Lotfi and Usmakabal for AS Monaco. They look shell-shocked here, Diego, because within the first 35, 40 minutes, they've been second fiddle.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam, absolutely. And we see, again, how is the goal started? All starts with a beautiful little lob pass over that last defensive line for the striker to slot it in the back of the net. This time he does control it, doesn't go for the volley. First touch, no. Has the time to control the ball and does so in a very professional manner.
Either way, clinical. If he takes a touch, if he volleys it first time, he's causing all sorts of problems for AS Monaco.
Absolutely.
Another very calm celebration again there from FC Nantes. And they look that like they can take anyone on at this rate. But remember, we got excited about them against Celtic, and Celtic were able to steady the ship, turn the tides. Can it possibly happen for a second time? It would be heartbreaking for FC Nantes. And remember, guys, at home, this is only the first game of 2. So even if they win this, Monaco still have, you know, more than enough chance to get a point from this fixture in Matchday 2.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, Adam, you'll know far better than me just how experienced these boys from Monaco are. Certainly, you know, they're feeling the heat, but they'll be managed to, they won't buckle under pressure. I'm sure that they can still get something out of it if the non-defense allows them to, because right now the defense is just looking incredibly solid.
Wow. 45 minutes gone. FC Nantes 2, Koulibaly 2 as well. 2 fantastic finishes there from the centre forward, and we're straight back out into the second half. Neither team wanting to make any changes. I mean, it just lightning turnaround there, and well, the action continues, Diego.
Action. What a first match of Matchday 2 are we having right now, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 by the surprise team that is taking the eFootball League by storm, by surprise, I would say.
Absolutely, the most inexperienced out of all the 6 teams here, but boy, have they got some talent. And if AS Monaco are going to turn this around, you kind of feel it's going to come through that Golovin area in that number 10. He's getting a lot of space. He's just not being able to find that final killer ball at this moment in time. But they are always a threat in those situations.
They are right now. Monaco looking
there he is
a little
again.
bit more disciplined, a little more organized in defense as they hitting Nantes on the counter themselves. Can they find that deadly through pass or a cross ball, as we see here, to get on the score sheet themselves?
It's in towards Silla. It's through towards
there's a good chance, and he takes it.
Mbola.
No, is it offside? I think that's called for offside.
We're just waiting for clarification. The ball is in the back of the net, and it has been given as a goal. There was slight confusion there to see whether that was indeed going to be allowed, but the most important thing is that AS Monaco are back in the match after a truly lackluster first half performance. Well, it's only taken them 5 in the second half, and it's game on, Diego.
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned that I'm sure these boys are feeling the heat but won't buckle under pressure, and here they are, just 1 goal behind at the moment and still the entire second half to play for.
They felt the heat, but they are not getting out of the kitchen. They are staying. Sorry for that. That was absolutely brilliant. As they are looking to stay well in this match. 56 minutes gone. FC Nantes 2, AS Monaco 1. And does this mean we're going to see another crumble from FC Nantes, Diego? Surely not.
We will see. We will see. I don't dare say, Adam. I really don't dare say.
The ball out towards the right-hand side. The man of the moment, Koulibaly, picks it up, finds Yuan, and then out towards Kolo on this left-hand side. Great challenge, though, and there's that man again, Golovin. Everything's coming through him, isn't it, Diego?
Absolutely. Looking for the man up top. Can he get through? No.
And we mentioned last week that all of the luck that AS Monaco were getting was through that number 10 position, and they haven't really altered the style of play. They're playing it into him very early. He's then turning, looking up, and finding that killer ball, isn't he?
But I would say that last match day, we did see them string perhaps more passes together, just playing a little bit more patiently, a little bit more calm on the ball. Of course, they're now, well, they were 2 goals down, now they're 1 goal down. They're trying to get back into it. Oh, and it's just wide. So close there to equalizing.
Fine margins here in the eFootball.Pro League, because, as you mentioned, that was a hair's breadth away from finding that far corner, and Neo Lotvi there knew it. He absolutely knew that was a big moment, and they're going to go straight to the substitutions, possibly. Are they going to change the personnel? Are they going to make any formational changes here, do you think, Diego?
It looks to me that they are.
Because, of course, as I mentioned, it looked
the guys
like,
up top.
It looked like they were playing very similar, the two setups, and it was quite a stalemate in that opening sort of 35 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And yeah, the formations are almost identical, and it looks like the man of the moment, the brace machine, Koulibaly, has actually come off. He's been withdrawn. Possibly his legs might be starting to tire.
They want some fresh legs, right, Adam? Yeah.
Because they'll be looking to hit AS Monaco on the counter-attack now, won't they?
Absolutely. What they don't want to do is go another goal down, of course, as Nantes here puts in the cross. But now in the box. Can he get it on goal? He gets it on target, but the keeper stops it from going in. What a chance there for Nantes to go up 3-1.
It was an absolutely huge chance, that, for Kolo, who's been in and around the buzz of the action.
There. Beautiful little bit of skill.
But his inability to take that chance might just come back to bite them in the Pro Evolution Soccer bum. As 67 minutes gone, we are running towards the end of this first match. Remember, this is 1 of 2, so regardless of this result, there will be another game before the points are dished out.
Jovetic here putting in the ball to
Pellegrini. That was truly
getting taken down.
That was a naughty challenge, that, Diego, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. No, they're living up to their name of being the team with the most fouls.
Absolutely, and it will be a free kick in a dangerous position, and it's Nisa Chadley who... Sloppy bit of football there. Counters on here, Diego?
Yeah, looks that way.
Good defending, though.
Good defending there by Monaco. Stopping the counter-attack. Kolo with the ball. Looking for somebody. Helping him out. Nantes, of course, happy to just sit and hold on to the ball for as long as possible.
And Mendy on this right-hand side now looks in field, but goes instead down the right-hand side.
There it is.
A chance to cross it in. Oh, he's overplayed that. And unfortunately, it's just gone out of play. But more importantly for FC Nantes is they're running the clock down, aren't they? They've not really allowed AS Monaco any chances.
Yeah. If they're not going to come for the ball, they're happy to sit on it and just let the clock run out.
So just 15 minutes plus stoppage time, and I don't think we'll be seeing much stoppages after this 75 minutes have kind of gone by with just a few stoppages with free kicks, etc., but not a lot.
See, what Nantes doesn't want to do is give the ball away cheaply there. Sloppy little play with that back heel, giving it right to the Monaco midfield.
Diego Carlos there to take the throw on this near touchline.
This is exciting, Adam. We're breaking down sweats.
Absolutely.
We need to get powdered up a little bit.
And as you can see on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we have FC Nantes there, deep in conversation about how to shut up shop, really, and see this one through, because that'll give them a lot of confidence, not only for the rest of the tournament, but going into that second game, having that first win, they know they've got at least a point from Matchday 2, and that's got to be, you know, quite a nice thing to feel, isn't it, Diego?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't want to let this one slip. They've done so well to be up 2-0, of course, now Monaco with the one goal, just the one goal down, with still everything to play for. But what Nantes doesn't want to do is, like I said, give the ball away cheaply here. But here they have a chance for a counter. Monaco with the interception. As Naldo there is tightly on the heels of the Nantes players. But here,
it's a tight flag there. 10 minutes remaining, and a third goal would have killed off all hopes, you feel, of an AS Monaco comeback. But more importantly, it is still 2-1 to FC Nantes, so still 9 minutes plus stoppage time. All eyes on that fourth official as he walks towards the technical area. How many minutes will be added on as Kolo looks to play the ball through? He's won a very important free kick there, Diego, ticking down the clock again.
What are they going to do? Are they going to go for a goal? Or they're just going to try to hold on to it, play it, little tiki-taka amongst themselves?
Well, there's your answer. Although he has turned goalwards, he's played it through, surely. Smothered by the goalkeeper, but they have played some brilliant
Some
offensive
great
football, haven't they?
Should have taken just maybe a volley there, like they scored. They got them on the score sheet in the first place. So maybe didn't need that first touch.
And that is the dilemma that they often have. Do they take that extra touch, steady themselves and have an easier shot, or do they take it first time, try and catch the keeper unawares? On this occasion, the touch came in, but the goalkeeper was able to smother. 2 minutes remaining, and FC Nantes are heading for the first win of Matchday 2 and 1 foot on 3 points, Diego.
Well, and you have to say, deservedly so. Deservedly so.
But we can't write off AS Monaco just yet. Is there some last-minute drama here in Matchday and Matchday 2 and game 1 as the ball gets played through towards that left-hand side on towards Jovetic? Came on as a second half substitute, wasn't able to really get into the match, and Kolo has a chance to get on this and really tick down the clock. We're into the final minute of added on time, and FC Nantes have taken the first game of Matchday 2 and thoroughly deserved, Diego.
Absolutely. I think, with the team that had the initiative here, that really was looking to get on the score sheet early, take the ball to their opponents, was Nantes. They did so, got 2 goals, ended up being 2-1, but I think so. I think we need to talk about, if there's one team that deserved the win, it was Nantes in this case.
Are you surprised at how ineffective the AS Monaco attack was, considering how good they were in Matchday 1?
Well, we can talk about inefficiency, but maybe we have to give credit here to the Nantes defense. I thought they played very disciplined. They were very organized. They were never seemed to get nervous, despite playing some very prestigious opposition in the Monaco players. So you tell me, Adam, what do you think?
Well, I think defensively they really did surprise me, because I waxed lyrical about them going forwards in Matchday 1, but defensively, so impressive to keep that AS Monaco attack down to really maybe 2 chances in 90 minutes. I can't think of any.
I would love to see the stats, but I think you're right there. I think we will see Nantes.
And even if there were more shots, it was, how good those chances were.
Right.
There weren't many big chances, were there?
Yes, exactly. As match 2 now is already underway. And again, we're seeing Nantes with the initiative, trying to get an early goal. Monaco taking the ball out.
So as you can see,
out to the wings now, trying to, rather than going through the middle, maybe they're trying to switch up their tactics and open up, space up the game a little bit.
He's in again here. It's every time, and it's happening again. It's deja vu almost, as the ball got played through, just overhit that pass. You saw on the screen there, we had a few stats of the players, and AS Boavista and Alex Giardi sharing 2 goals apiece in the tournament so far, as Neo Lotfi has 4 goals to his name.
Yes, he does.
And he now levels with Eterito at the top of the Golden Boot table. Of course, he has had a game more than Eterito, who scored 4 in Matchday 1. But yeah, certainly Neo Lotfi is the player to watch at this moment in time for AS Monaco. Having said that, Usmakabal has 3 assists, I believe. So certainly a key member. 8 minutes gone, and similar pattern so far, Diego.
Yeah, a similar pattern, I would say so. We saw earlier Monaco trying to space out, open up the game a little bit, taking it wide. Maybe that's something that they want to do. I think last match day we saw him go much more through the middle, as now Nantes is in with a chance. No, but they cannot connect on that deadly pass.
I mean, they are.
But it's not over yet, Adam.
AS Monaco, all sorts of problems, and that man again, Koulibaly. I mean, somebody sign that guy up. He is an absolute man mountain in the heart of that strike force, and AS Monaco just simply can't handle him. But it's gone down the other end. And unfortunately, it's not gone through. And 14 minutes on the clock. And AS Monaco have the chance to break down that right-hand side. Kolo on the left for FC Nantes. And again, that ball over the top. They're trying to utilise that chip-through ball. What else are you seeing other than that chip-through ball, which is working so well?
It's working really well.
I mean, right? what are FC Nantes doing that's causing AS Monaco so many problems?
Well, I think they're basically seeing that the defensive line of Monaco is really, really up high up in the pitch. And again, here, he could have taken that, he decided to pass it back. He could have just slaughtered that forward, maybe gone and run onto the goalkeeper again. It's a reoccurring pattern that we're seeing from both game 1 and now in this second game as well. It's happening over time and time again.
Absolutely, and to be honest, if the score remains the same, i.e. a draw in this game, and FC Nantes take the 3 points overall, then this result will really send shockwaves through the eFootball.Pro League, because on paper, FC Nantes were possibly considered one of the weaker teams due to that lack of experience, and beating of course AS Monaco, who are considered by many as possibly the favourite, if not one of the top two favourites, alongside Celtic probably.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and we heard them in the pre-match interview as well, right? The guys from Monaco were very confident. I hope they're not sinning here from being overly confident, because we saw in the first match day, these guys from Nantes are certainly no joke. They shouldn't be underestimated whatsoever. They had a chance to spot out. Here we go.
Again here, it's Kolo.
Is it a goal?
What a save. Goodness. The fingertips to deny Kolo on that left-hand side, who's getting in on the action time and time again. And FC Nantes are playing the game of their lives here against AS Monaco. But, Diego, we mustn't get too carried away with this, because, of course, it only takes one goal from AS Monaco and it's a point apiece. And FC Nantes have got one from six, potentially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, you're right, Adam. And again, you know better than me just how quickly tides can shift in esports, just how quickly the things can change in these kind of games. But right now, again, I'm seeing Nantes looking very comfortable, very relaxed on the ball. And here we see the possession is split, but I don't think the shots on goal, I think we'll see quite a difference there.
And I think that's important, because we're talking about this as FC Nantes are playing incredible. It's more the fact that, yes, it's level in this second game 0-0, but it's the manner in which they're playing. They're bossing the large parts of the game, aren't they? In the important areas.
It certainly looks that way, Adam. Absolutely.
32 minutes gone here. FC Nantes 0, AS Monaco 0, as Lotfi and Usmakabal have to turn the tides, and it's a good save there. It was close to his feet. Either side could have caused him real problems. Promising though from AS Monaco.
Yeah, I'm starting to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but the words of Eturito are just coming back to haunt me time and time again, when he actually mentioned that for him, Nantes is the best team of the tournament because the stats are balanced and these guys are big up front. Maybe that's something that the guys from Monaco hadn't taken into account before, and they're stifled right now as the Nantes defense is clearing this ball, and again, they're on the counter.
Well, exactly. You talked about that physicality, and Koulibaly's got that in abundance, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
And he has been the go-to man. That every sort of attack is springing off him, and you've got the likes of Kolo on the left-hand side, who's getting in on the action off those flicks, and AS Monaco haven't really come up with an answer as yet so far, and I'm sure the other four teams in the eFootball.Pro League are watching this with bated breath, because they'll be a little bit worried by this, aren't they?
I would say so. I would say so. I would recommend them to watch this game closely and take notes.
So, 42 minutes gone. Can AS Monaco get that all-important goal, which would straight away reduce FC Nantes' grip on this tie to level? It would be 1 point apiece, and a draw wouldn't be a bad result for AS Monaco, considering they've been dominated, you would have to say, for a good game and a half. A couple of chances starting to grow, though, for
this is starting
AS
to look
Monaco.
more like it, though. Here we're starting to see them string together a couple of passes and getting a shot on goal eventually. That got blocked, but they have the corner now to see if they can take advantage of it.
A wonderful time to score here with seconds remaining in that first half. It would completely change the half-time team talk if they could nick a goal here, as it's whipped in towards the near post. Saved by the goalkeeper. Oh, what a chance for AS Monaco, and what a stop, and it keeps the scores level, Diego.
Wow. If they would have scored that, imagine the psychological advantage they would have had, taken that one goal advantage into the second half. Surely that would have done some damage to the non-players.
I mean, that was some corner kick routine whipped in, but they've started the second half on the front foot again, and I think you've got the feeling they're building here for a grandstand finish to try and suffocate FC Nantes in that final third.
The momentum is shifted right now, Adam. I think we're seeing the guys from Monaco realizing, guys, we need to change something, play a little bit more aggressive, try to stick to our game plan. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys that know each other very well, they've practiced and played together for a long, long time. What they need to do is stick to the game plan, what made them great in the first place, string together some passes, not necessarily going for the long balls, as we see them doing now. Let's see if they can find an opening. Here's a shot on goal, and just wide again. See,
and they are the sort of chances you have to take in the eFootball.Pro League. You are up against the best of the best, and that is, by their standards, Diego, that is a poor finish.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Adam. If there's one thing I learned in esports, is that you have to take your chances. sometimes you don't get many, and then when you do, you need to slot them in because otherwise it can come back and haunt you.
Absolutely. Now, remember, AS Monaco are part of a trio which, of course, has Lotfi and Usmakabal, who are playing, but also Red Mamba as
Adam,
well.
here's another
as the
chance
ball
for...
gets played through.
Oh, sure! Oh!
It's another gilt-edge opportunity that's gone the wrong side of the post, and promisingly, they're making the chances, but crucially, Diego, they're not taking them.
My word, what a miss, what a miss. They'll be upset with themselves for the fact that they've missed that one. That's now 2 clear chances that where they should and could have gotten on the score sheet. They didn't. Hopefully that it won't hurt them too much. But you know, we're in the second half already, Adam.
Now, of course, just jumping back to what I was saying about the trio of players for AS Monaco, do you feel that they might possibly look to change the dynamics with possibly bringing Red Mamba in their next game?
Well, yeah, I think we talked about that in the first match day as well. I think if they go on and lose this, then potentially they might want to change things up a little bit for that crucial match day 3 that we'll see in February.
Absolutely, and if they were able to get the 3 points needed, if this remains a draw, then it would be FC Nantes 3, AS Monaco 3, after a possible 6 for both of the two sides as the ball gets played through the middle. It's a real scramble, and that is some stop. And the referee's blown his whistle. It looks like offside. A possible offside decision, and it's a tight one.
Wow.
And Diego, the pressure is building. Half an hour.
Absolutely, but the Monaco guys will be beating themselves right now out of frustration that they haven't converted those 2 earlier chances. Surely, we're now nearly in the 60th minute, still 0-0 on the score sheet. Monaco needs to get on the score sheet if they want to get something out of this game.
Absolutely. We've talked up how good FC Nantes have been, both offensively and defensively, but importantly, if you are to win titles, you have to have that little element of luck as well, don't you? And they've certainly had that in the last sort of 20 minutes because AS Monaco are on top.
Absolutely, but you know, you make your own luck, don't you, Adam? I mean, take nothing away from these guys from Nantes. I think if they go on and here they can't get hit Monaco on the counter. But if they do end up with the 3 points, then you have to say it's deservedly so. Monaco enjoying more possession, 53%. It just goes to show just how disciplined Nantes are in the defense as well.
Absolutely, as the ball gets played through, looking forward towards Kolo again, who has been in and around that edge of the area, causing problems from minute 1.
Can Monaco take advantage now, Adam?
And it's Jovetic on the counter-attack, looking for Pellegrini, back towards Jovetic in the centre. Oh, what a defensive header that was from Miazga by the looks of things, and it's still ricocheting around the edge of the area. Surely, and AS Monaco have scored.
There it is.
And all the good that FC Nantes have had and done in the previous minutes before they've been dead and buried by one chance.
Welcome to esports. Welcome to this game. You have to take your chances. All the hard work done by the guys from Nantes in that first game could just be swiped away just like that with 1 goal from Monaco here in the second match. Beautiful little back heel.
Absolutely sensational flick that. I think it was from Jovetic on the edge of the area. And I hate to use another cliche, but does that show the sign of potential champions to win when you're not playing well? Never give up, but win when you're not playing well, Diego?
Yeah, absolutely, Adam, absolutely. And just never giving up, believing in yourself. These guys know that they are quality players, that they can, defeat pretty much anybody here in that tournament. They're certainly not looking up or down at anybody, but they're just not giving up. And they got on the score sheet. It's 1-0 now to Monaco.
Absolutely, and we said that it was only 1 goal away from taking potentially all of the sting from FC Nantes' performance, but equally now, 1 goal for Nantes throws it completely back in their favour again, because of course they only need a draw in this game to take all 3 points after winning that first game. Can they do it, Diego?
Well said. Well, they've shown us that they can. So, but that's not unless Monaco can get another goal right here, but they can't. Not there clearing the ball, but Monaco back on it.
Jovetic on the turn there, instigator in all things good in this second half for AS Monaco in that number 10 role, which seems to be the out-and-out number 1 sort of tactic from AS Monaco to go through that middle man, and they're looking for him again here as they come back inside. They haven't used the width a lot, have they? They keep sort of cutting back in field. It makes it a little bit congested. They've finally gone out wide now through Jovetic, and a chance to whip it in towards an Adrian. And this is wonderful football. And he knows it. He knows that that's the goal that potentially
That's the
sees
stinger
them
right there.
take a point from today, and they can kind of douse themselves off and go again, because they're now on they will be on 4 points from 6, and that's a good result, isn't it, Diego?
That's a great result. What a great goal. I was a little bit scared there that they might have gone for the extra pass unnecessarily so, but still managed to get a shot on, beating the keeper at the near post. What a shot.
What do you see what do you see has happened in this turnaround? Because FC Nantes were well on top for the first game, well on top in the first half of this game, but in this final 45 minutes, AS Monaco have just absolutely blitzed it.
Look at that.
And is that down to AS Monaco, or is that down
experience, Adam?
Is it that, or is it down to FC Nantes taking the foot off the pedal? I mean,
I doubt it. I mean, I think it's down to experience. You know, these guys were very confident coming into this match. Look at the celebrations. Very subdued celebration there, almost out of frustration.
It's, like you said, I think that's a sign of frustration there, because they probably feel that, why didn't we do this?
Yeah.
Because we can do this.
Yeah.
And they haven't played for a game and a half, and that must be disappointing, because they could be sat on 6 points had they done that. Of course, still not over.
Sorry, I don't to interrupt there.
No, I was just going to say, still not over, but of course, time is ticking away now.
It is. And I was going to mention, we saw similar on Matchday 1, didn't we? The celebrations of the Monaco players were pretty subdued, a little bit.
We didn't know whether they'd scored or conceded, if I'm being honest, Diego.
Yeah.
And very professional, these guys. I suppose when you score goals for fun every single day, what's one more?
Lotfi now with 5 goals to his name already so far this tournament.
Absolutely,
as they don't want to get caught out and give Nantes a glimmer of hope.
So, can FC Nantes really strike a real shock in the remaining 7 minutes and get 2 goals from the blue? Because at this moment in time, they are heading for just the 1 point.
He's open now. He can get a shot off.
Great block. Absolutely sensational. Bodies on the line here for AS Monaco. They know how important this phase of play might be. But he's pulled it back. Game on. Game on, Diego.
Game on. Game on. Absolutely. The non-players know that they have to react very quickly if they want to go for that equalizer. There's not a lot of time left, but we've seen crazier things happen, haven't we, Adam?
We have indeed. And what we were saying about why the turnaround happened, well, FC Nantes have kind of stepped it up again, and you just feel, had they have maintained this intensity throughout the whole of the 90 minutes, they would be sat pretty with 3 points. However, we still have 4 minutes. There you go. They might still get it, and that was a lovely little finish, much like what we saw in one of the English League games recently between Arsenal and Manchester United.
Cool, calm, and collective finish. Absolutely, knowing that any chance that they get on goal is crucial. They didn't get a lot this game, but the one that they did get, they managed to get in a goal. So let's see what happens in these final, 2-3 minutes.
Absolutely. So AS Monaco will be trying all of the tricks of the trade now. The game management is the term that gets thrown about a lot.
So just how important are these little tweaks, Adam?
Well, number one, it's all about obviously ticking down that game clock, which if it's 3 minutes in real game time is a lot less than that. And of course, defensively you can by changing the formation, but also the actual tactics and the sort of roles that you want your players to do. But there's another chance down the other side, and just going back to that point, just making giving the players different roles and overlapping the sort of fullbacks, for example, and stopping the width. It can cause can really shut up shop and stifle AS Monaco more than anything, as the linesman gives a throw on that far touchline
in the danger area, putting it in. Can he get it in?
Well, that was the moment, wasn't it? A real chance there.
What an acrobatic shot here.
Miazga, and a heart in the mouth moment there for AS Monaco, because that would have sent them crashing home from Matchday 2 with 0 points. 2 minutes of added on time.
We're almost done here.
And it looks like we are heading for a point apiece. Wow. The first game goes in favour of FC Nantes, and the second game goes in favour of AS Monaco. And that is how it has finished here. A thoroughly enjoyable first match in Matchday 2, as the players shake hands afterwards. It is nice to see in the game, of course, they They have to be really focused on the task at hand, and they can't get drawn in by their obvious friendships on and offline around the PES League and PES in general. And of course, they have changed shirts, I believe, which is lovely to see. And we will shortly be going to the mix zone to hear from some of those players. But it has finished here, of course, a point apiece, which means that FC Nantes now have 1 point from a possible 6. And they'll be disappointed by that, of course, after really dominating large parts of both games, but for a second half onslaught from AS Monaco. And this is the replays on your screen here of the killer blows in that first match. As Koulibaly here on the first time volley, that chip through a ball causing AS Monaco all sorts of problems in that first match. The same tactic used again here. This time he took a touch, the same result. 2 goals from 2 possible chances, and it was plain sailing really for FC Nantes, and AS Monaco offered very, very little in that opening game. They got their goal to kind of reduce the deficit, but you never felt that the game was under any sort of threat for FC Nantes to take the opening game. And of course, going into the second match, it was just that goal there, which really, against the run of play in terms of the up to 60-minute mark, they had bossed the 10 minutes prior, but the opening 45 minutes was all FC Nantes, you felt. And then as soon as that goal went in, it was just free-flowing AS Monaco football, and they got the second to take the game away from FC Nantes, who did get a consolation in the 85th minute. But they weren't, of course, able to get that killer second goal, which would have given them a draw on the second game, and of course 3 points overall, so a point apiece. Just to repeat what I said, we had FC Nantes now have 1 point from a possible 6. AS Monaco have 4 points from a possible 6. So AS Monaco now in the ascendancy in that sort of group setup there. And like I mentioned, we will be going very shortly to the mix zone, where we're going to hear from, I believe we're going to hear from, well, it's a draw. We were going to hear from the losers, but because it's a draw, of course, we are just waiting to hear which team, whether it's going to be AS Monaco or FC Nantes. But we are really waiting with bated breath, because it'd be very interesting to hear what the 2 sets of players have got to say, because it really was a game of, again to use the cliche, a game of 2 halves in that second match. FC Nantes were by far the better team in the opening 45 minutes, already with that game in the bag, so they kind of could play with a bit of freedom, and they showed it really in that opening 45 minutes. But then after the turnaround at half-time, of course, AS Monaco then turned it, and the tides turned, the actual result turned as well. And we have here, as you can see on the camera, on the screen, on the graphics, we have Diego Lorin, our wonderful reporter and data analyst, with AS Monaco, Lotfi and Us Makabail.
So guys, thank you, Adam. I am here with the guys from AS Monaco. What a crazy 2 matches. Tell us a little bit, in the beginning, you guys lost. Did you guys were you guys overly confident going into this match, facing the boys from Nantes, who are maybe a little bit more inexperienced than you?
I think we was begin very, very bad. It was not our level. After, in the second half, our first game, it was better. We score a goal, but we lose the game. So we was confident in the second game because in the last of the first game, we do our game great. So like this.
And what is your game? I mean, in the first match day, we saw you guys string together a lot of passes. Today, it was a little bit more cagey. Moving forward, do you guys want to rely more on that possessive style of football that is really characterized by you two?
I think it's important to adapt against team. Nantes is a very speed and physical team. I think it's the best team in this mode. Very physical, so it's very difficult to play possession, and I think it's the better it's to do 3-4 pass in attack, and it's like this because if you do a lot of paces, it's impossible with the physique of Nantes.
Interesting that. One final question for you. Moving forward, you guys have a third team member. Can we expect any changes?
Sorry?
You guys have a third team member. Moving forward, next match day, can we expect any changes, any rotations amongst you guys?
Yes, I don't know, because, for example, against Schalke in the first game, 3 different players in the because they change club or remove of the team. So we need to change because for me the players we had against Schalke was better of these players, but it's like this. We need to adapt with the mercato. So we will see because the mercato is not finished. So next game, I think maybe other players too.
We'll see. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck moving forward here. The guys from Monaco taking the 1 point. They're a little bit disappointed, maybe underestimated the guys from Nantes, but also mentioning that just how great of a team they are. Adam, back over to you.
Thanks for that, Diego. Yes, of course, it was very interesting hearing from the guys there from AS Monaco, Lotfi in particular, of course. And what was interesting to hear from them is that how they actually adapted to the style of play of FC Nantes. Now, of course, we mentioned they seemed a little bit, they weren't really sure how to take that game in that opening 90 minutes, and it really showed. And possibly that's because they had to adapt their natural style to play against the physicality and the pace of FC Nantes. And that's now the second player in the whole of the tournament after Etorito in the last match day, who have said that FC Nantes really shouldn't be taken too lightly because they have, on paper, possibly the best team in this format. So going forwards, possibly the underdog marker might not be placed on their shoulders. Now, remember, of course, we will have our MVP, which will be selected by Jos, our PES pundit, and really, he's our expert. I mean, he is the man of the moment in the PES world. He will be looking over today's games, and he will be picking from each match our MVP, his best player, so from what he's seen. And of course, then you can help choose. So he will give you his selection, and then you can obviously choose on our social medias, mainly Twitter, at eFootball.Pro. Of course, now we are going to go back to the mix zone because, as you can see on your screen, we have Mr. Diego Lorin again, and now we have our FC Nantes players, Alex Giardi and AS Boavista. Let's hear from the guys now.
Thank you, Adam. That's right. I am here with the surprise team of the tournament so far. I don't know if that's fair to say. Last week or last match day, we heard Etorito say that you guys are the best team in the tournament. We just heard Lotfi say the same thing. Well, how do you guys feel? Is that big praise for you guys? Do you guys see yourselves as the best team in the tournament?
Yeah, it's very proud to hear this because we play two best teams, I think, in this competition for the moment on the paper. US Maccabil, Lotfi, Etorito, Distritore. So complicated to begin the eFootball.Pro with these two games, but good point today. The second game we can do better, I think, and keep the draw to win the 3 points. But we were better on the second game, so no problem. 1 point for us. It's good. It's good.
You guys were so close to taking all 3 points. It's unfortunate you didn't, but you mentioned yourself, you guys faced first Celtic, now Monaco, 2 juggernauts in the eFootball.Pro League. But for you guys, 1 point out of 2 match days. How do you guys see your chances moving forward to get some to advance to the next stage?
Yes, we need to win. We need to win the 3 next game. We want to win the 3 next game because we know that we can, and to be in the top 3 for the playoff, it's important. And I hope we will train more. We don't train a lot before this game because we play PES League, so it was one-on-one, and we don't have many time to play. We play under 10 games before this game, so I think we can do better, and I hope we will win again.
Well, guys, if you guys are already playing like this without practicing a lot, I'm sure when you do practice a lot together, you guys will be just fine moving forward. I wish you the best of luck for the next match day, getting that point today, the guys from Nantes. Adam, back over to you.
Thanks very much, Diego. Very interesting to hear from Alex Giardi there from FC Nantes. And, well, importantly, like Diego said, how good could they possibly be with more practice? Because from what I've seen there, they are certainly one of the best teams in the world of PES. Now, I mentioned, of course, the MVP that Jos will be selecting or helping to select, but we are going to go to, right now, a clip of just how that MVP setup is going to work. So take it away.
That are representing them in the shape of Luca Tubelli and Etorito.
One thing to note, we've never seen Etorito and Luca Tubelli as a duo. They've always had Alex Alguacil, and it is Celtic who have taken the lead.
In terms of the esports players on show, Forest for Celtic panicked a bit when they got into the end.
It's kind of a positive and a negative. They must feel very, happy with the chances they're making, but they're getting to that final moment, that last bit of quality that they need. Celtic have got, and that's the difference at this level.
This is very much up for grabs, and again, it's been another real thriller. Every game so far has been top quality and top entertainment.
So that was a really late challenge there. The referee's played advantage. I'm sure he'll go back for the yellow card, but he won't matter if they can score here. What a finish. In the ranks with Etorito, Luca Tubelli. They always get off to a flyer, usually score early, and the only times they don't tend to win is if they don't score within the first 10 to 15 minutes, and they have scored again. They do it time and time again.
Looking to extend their lead to make the most of their pressure. In it goes from Forest, not the best corner. Tierney picks it up for Celtic though. Fired into Sinclair. Forest on the turn. Chance here. It's another good cross. Edouard off the post and somehow denied and somehow not survived.
Yes, of course, they were the best moments from Matchday 1 for our MVP, which was, of course, Etorito from Celtic FC, who is coming later in today's matchday. Before we get to the other two games, because, of course, we have some absolute crackers coming up next. Diego, final thoughts on what you've just seen in that first match?
Wow, well, once again, the guys from Nantes just completely surprising us. I think taking everybody by storm, including the guys from Monaco. Maybe they were underestimating their opponents a little bit, but I'm expecting big things from these guys from Nantes.
Absolutely. So we are going to now go to our next matchup, which is Diego. Take it away. Who's up next?
Well, up next is Boavista against Celtic, or Celtic Boavista, the favorites against the guys that are desperate for 3 points.
Absolutely. So Celtic were incredible in matchday 1, and Boavista were a little bit unlucky. So let's see what's going to happen in matchday 2 for these two teams. So take it away, Boavista FC and, of course, Celtic FC as well.
Hello guys, check your hands. Let's take a seat. Captain here, please.
Yep, so we have, of course, on your left-hand side, Celtic FC, which are consisting of Etorito, the world 1v1 champion, the co-op champion, and of course Luca Tubelli as well, who is also a co-op champion from the PES League. And against them is of course Boavista FC, Diego, which are comprising of Tierney, who was brilliant in the PES League World Tour last year, didn't manage to get any major honours, but was one of the best players for sure, and Christopher as well, who has a long history in the game. Neither team have made any changes to their setup. Of course, Celtic can't because they've only got 2 players, but Boavista have 3 and they haven't made any changes. Surprised or?
Well, I don't know. I think we talked about it last match day, didn't we? Whether or not they were going to make any changes. I mentioned that time that I saw a very sort of disappointed and quite sad Christopher, but he decided to come back and make amends, hopefully get some points against, probably the toughest competition right now.
Absolutely, these guys are seasoned veterans in this co-op game. The first ever team to win the co-ops had those two in it alongside Alex Alguacil of Barcelona, which will be an amazing game in matchday 3, of course. But how do you see Boavista approaching this? Because they were pretty unlucky in that first game in matchday 1, and then the second game they didn't really click into gear, perhaps still feeling the pain of the 93rd minute equaliser.
I think, what we saw the first game, and perhaps rightfully so, was two teams that were pretty nervous. It was a cagey affair. In Boavista's case, they were very sloppy in defense, sloppy in their build-up, which was something our pundit Jos mentioned up as well. They gave away the ball in the penalty box, which was the goal that they conceded was through that massive error. So I'm expecting a Boavista that is a lot more tidy, a lot less sloppy, and really trying to get positive results against, again, probably one of the toughest competitions in this league.
Absolutely, and they're slightly different playing styles. I mean, the first game that we saw then between FC Nantes and AS Monaco, fairly similar styles, very aggressive, offensive. Now, we get that with Celtic. They're very good offensively. And they have improved defensively as well, but certainly very good offensively. Boavista a little bit more reserved. They're not as electric going forwards. Do you think that's going to play any sort of have any impact in the result today?
Well, is it or not? I mean, we have in Celtic a team that actually likes to give up the possession, hit their opponents on the counter attack. It's of course made up of Etorito, who's not only the leading goal scorer with permission of Lotfi, or now with 5 goals has become the lead goal scorer, but he's also very well accompanied in his partner in crime in Luka, who has got 4 assists to his name. So we got 4 goals, 4 assists. It's the perfect chemistry for them in this case. So it's certainly very stern competition for the guys from Boavista, who just need something positive. If not the 3 points, even just 1 point.
Prediction, Diego. You've got to get off the fence now. You sat on the fence for the first one. I want to hear it. Come on.
Well,
give me a team.
I'll say, Celtic are the heavy favorites, so I expect them to go on and take the 3 points.
Okie dokie. So Celtic is Diego's pick, or are Diego's pick, as they get the game underway, kicking from left to right in the green and white hoops. And they always start fast. An incredible 2 minutes into the match, and Boavista are already behind, and they've got a mountain to climb already, Diego.
Did we start already? Did it start? I mean, my stopwatch hasn't even started yet. Is this the fastest goal in esports history?
They didn't even allow me to do a proper introduction to the game. They're just too good. I mean, we talk about how good AS Monaco have been, but potentially the chemistry in the team wasn't quite necessarily up to it. Now we're seeing from Celtic FC, not only have they got the quality, but these guys on and off the field, they have this wonderful chemistry, and it really shows as soon as that first minute whistle goes, the ball got crossed in, headed into the back of the net, and that is what we love to see. A nice celebration there between the two, and what more can you say? I run out of words to describe these two.
Just these guys wasting no time. They come here to take care of business. We're 2 minutes in, and already Celtic is up 1-0.
2 minutes and 29 seconds. The fastest ever goal in eFootball.Pro League history. Write that down. I'm 95% sure that will never be beaten. But I'd like to see somebody try, because that was electrifying, as the ball is on the near touchline here for Boavista. Now, what have they got to do, Diego? They've got to, because they've really got to almost start again, haven't they? But they've got to not let this affect them.
Exactly. Not only do they need to start again, they now need to open up as they get a chance to get on the score sheet themselves, and they do. Boavista with the equalizer. Just, 1 or 2 minutes afterwards.
Well, anything...
They could have gone down. They could have been defeated, deflated, but they said, no, we come here to mean business, get on the score sheets ourselves. They want to get something out of this game themselves, guys.
Well, anything you can do, Celtic FC, we can do it as well, say Boavista FC. 2 minutes and 29 seconds on the clock for the first goal, and roughly around 2 minutes and 29 seconds after that for the equalising goal. We will wait to see exactly how many minutes, but we thought at one point, as the header came in, that they were going to be incredibly unlucky as it came crashing back off the crossbar.
Yeah.
But he stayed calm and composed to turn it home. And what a response, Diego.
Man, what a response. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from a team that is eager for points, that it wants to get something positive, not only out of this match, but out of this tournament. They are not giving up. I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. Look at that little celebration there, cool, calm, collected. They know they still have a mountain to climb facing these boys from Celtic, but they're off on a good start.
Yeah, Etorito and Luca Tubelli looking at each other. The question marks were raised because, of course, he was alone really in that 6-yard box, allowed to get a free header really, and similar to FC Nantes with their big number 9. They've kind of gone down that route again here, Boavista.
Yeah, lobbing that ball over that last defensive line and seeing what happens. Really, Oh, they just got caught offside there. But wow, Adam, what a start to a match.
I think I've seen enough. You can blow the final whistle. I mean, action-packed opening 10 minutes here.
More. Yeah.
The heart rates are racing, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. 104 there for Eterito and 102 for Christopher.
I think mine, you can double those.
Yeah, mine's definitely more than that right now.
But give credit here to the boys from Boavista. What a way to react. They could have gone down in the slumps and thought, oh man, here we go again. But instead, they came out punching, really.
I mean, they conceded a late goal in match day one after leading, and they've managed to do the reverse. Not quite the late drama that we saw in that one, but they've managed to make the reverse. Now the question is, can they go on and add to that tally and get the second goal? And he's in again here.
Good position to do so.
Flag. Has it been raised? It looks like the flag.
I think that's 2-1, Adam. I think that's 2-1. I think that's another goal. I think that's 2-1 to Boavista.
We're just waiting for clarification because it looked a very, very tight call for offside, and it has been given.
There it is.
Oh, controversy here in the eFootball.Pro League match day 2. It looked just about the right decision, Diego, by a stud. I mean, that is some real drama here. We could have had 3 goals in 15 minutes, Diego, but we haven't.
Wow. What a match. What a match. Well, watch out here, Boavista, because Celtic can get on the score sheet, and they do. 2-1 to Celtic.
Heartbreak for Boavista. They thought they'd gone 2-1 up, Diego.
Oof.
They thought they'd gone 2-1 up, and now they find themselves 2-1 down.
Oh my goodness. Just when you thought things were going in one direction, here comes Celtic to say, no. Hold on a second, boys.
I mean, we've seen some intricate one-touch football in the eFootball.Pro League, but today we've seen a lot of goals like this, haven't we?
Yeah. Again, with the little cross inside of the box for the header to slot it into the back of the net. 2-1 for Celtic. Wow, this game is something else.
An absolute barnstormer here. 17 minutes gone. Celtic 2, Boavista FC 1, and Boavista are on the attack again. Can we get a second goal for them? A 4th overall. We've not even had 20 minutes, and we could have had 4 goals.
I've been having a hard time breathing, Adam.
We thought the first game was electric enough.
Yeah.
I don't think we were quite ready for match day 2.
I wasn't ready for this, that's for sure.
Ball down the left-hand side, fired inwards towards Ed Girard, and McGregor's there, but he can't pick up the pieces, and now it's out towards the centre circle, and Falcone plays it out towards the left-hand side, intercepted though by Arzani, and now Forrest picks it up, back to Arzani on this right-hand side. Again, the big man, the big number 9 through the middle.
Lurking there.
He is lurking, and he's looking at that, and he's in again here. And a fingertip save to deny him, and he is causing all sorts of problems. It wouldn't have counted again. We couldn't have handled another disallowed goal, Diego.
I don't know if I can handle much more of this.
25 minutes gone, and sometimes you get a game where the two teams are so evenly balanced that you really get not a lot of goal-mouth action. Well, we've seen quite the reverse, and defensively, would you say the two teams have been sloppy?
Does it come down to sloppy defending, or just hitting the crossbar?
How unlucky can you be? The header came in from just inside the 6-yard box. It came flying back off the underside of the crossbar, and heartbreak again for Boavista, who have had a goal disallowed. They've hit the crossbar. I mean, they must be feeling it's not their day.
Christopher and Theo will be pulling their hairs out for not having taken better advantage of the 2 big chances that they had. But here they are again, Adam, on the counter. Let's see if they can make something out of this. Nobody in the Celtic box there.
Falcone tries to play it early towards the edge of the area, but whacked away up towards Forrest, who tries to get it under his possession, but he can't get it under his spell, and it's back with Boavista FC. 33 minutes gone here, and it's still Celtic 2, Boavista 1, and that only tells half the story, doesn't it?
This is, I mean, anything like a boxing match. Is exchanging punches. One hits the other one comes back with the 1-2. It's non-stop, this, Adam.
And then there was a knockdown and almost a 10 count, but he got up on 9. as we've had goals disallowed, crossbars hit. And Gamboa has a chance down this right-hand side. It's a poor pass from him, really sloppy, but they get it back through Forest. Another chance here for McGregor, and Silva manages to whack the ball away. And this is a really tricky 5 minutes here for both of these two teams, because they don't want to concede, and it's Falcone in the penalty area. He plays in the grass, saved by the goalkeeper again. And Boavista have had the chances.
They've had the chances. What they need to do is make those chances, because I don't know if they're going to get many more, and they're down 1 goal.
Well, you would think that surely Celtic can't be this open defensively in the second half.
We're certainly used to seeing them much more disciplined in defense, not allowing as many chances. And here they are again on the counter themselves.
It's Edouard, finds Scott Sinclair, back to Edouard, and then played through towards McGregor again, who's growing into this match alongside Forest in that front line as we tick into the final minute of added on time here. Celtic 2, Boavista 1, and we're only a quarter of the way through the tie, Diego.
Wow.
I can't handle another 3 quarters if it stays at this tempo.
We don't have a choice, Adam. We don't have a choice. It's what they paid to do us.
Oh dear, as Hendry gets the header in, and that brings the first half to an end. We've seen 3 goals. We could have had 5 goals. We've had a crossbar hit. We've had a very tight offside flag raised for some controversy as well. But importantly, Celtic FC, who have 3 points already before today, are heading for their first win of the first game. And Boavista, who have no points, are heading for a defeat. Can they turn it around, Diego?
I certainly think they can. This game is end-to-end, packed with chances, very unpredictable. It's just electrifying watching this. And I certainly expect, the way things have been going for Boavista, to get at least a chance to get on the score sheet 1 or 2 more times. The question is, can they take those chances, of course?
Well, I don't know about you guys watching at home, but we have had now approximately 1 hour, 16 minutes and 19 seconds. That's not really approximate, is it? That's I mean, that's pretty bang on of action so far today. And it's whizzed by, hasn't it, Diego?
It has. I can't believe they're already almost halfway down match day 2 already, as we see here Boavista building up another attack. Can they take advantage? Here's the lob over the defensive line. But this time, Celtic very disciplined, clearing that ball. They can't hold on to it, though.
Played through, chance to play it on towards Falcone. Oh, it's a really heavy touch out from Falcone, with a goal gaping for that first-time finish after that. 55 minutes gone, still 2-1 to Celtic. No massive chances in this second half. Remember, guys, don't go anywhere, because after these 2 games between Celtic and Boavista, we have possibly, well, according to Jos and Diego anyway, the game of match day 2 between Schalke.
How are they going to beat this, Adam?
Schalke 04 and Barcelona FC as well, or FC Barcelona, as some people would refer to it, would refer to them as a massive game between those 2 teams. Schalke, of course, one of the most experienced teams in the tournament, and Barcelona, who have Alex and Pau, who
Pedigree
are fantastical. I'm even making up words now.
I've been doing that.
That's how breathtaking this game has been. They've got some fantastic players in Alex Alguacil and Pau as well.
Absolutely. Maybe not as used to each other in terms of the experience that they have playing together.
Absolutely. But they have the 3-point advantage over Schalke, who weren't able to win in their first game. So the pressure is well and truly on, and it also means that another player to watch selected from matchday 1 was Alex Alguacil as well, because he was brilliant in that first matchday, but many people wanted to see how he would perform against the experienced Schalke 04 as Forest goes down the right-hand side. Played it
We've seen
towards
this before,
Edouard.
Adam. Ooh.
I mean, they're trying that time and time again. It's not quite come off in this second half, but do you feel another goal's brewing here, Diego?
They're cooking us something up, Adam. They're cooking something up. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, again, look at the stats. Luka with 5 assists, Etorito with 5 goals. Is it? You name me a better duo And don't say Batman and Robin, then these two guys right here.
Me and you. No, of course
I like
not.
that.
Awful. As 63 minutes gone here, and it's a chance for Boavista to take that shot on the first time. He didn't, and Bitton was able to smuggle the ball away. Finds Griffiths, a chance to counter through Scott Sinclair. Back to Edouard. Now Weah joins the attack out towards Forrest on the right-hand side. This is a wonderful attacking, flowing move, but crucially, again, we've seen this in the second half, the final ball has been lacking.
Yeah. Here it is, though, over the top. Can he get a shot off? And he does it, he scores!
And curse of the commentator, the final ball is lacking, and then he pulls off a stunning chip through ball.
What a belter.
Scott Sinclair, Diego, what more can you say about that finish, which might just see them to the first win?
What a belter, absolutely. It's a different goal that we've seen from what we've seen of them today. Let's take a look at the replay here. He does lob the ball over to the defense, and then wasting no time, and just slotting that into the back of the net with force.
Scott Sinclair, nice. You sounded like an action hero then. Scott Sinclair, of course, playing for Aston Villa, the likes of Chelsea, now Celtic FC, and using all of those years of experience, believe it or not. I believe he's been in the game around a decade, which is crazy talk.
Wow.
But what a left foot finish there into the bottom
What a
right-hand
belter,
corner.
what a belter. You think that's it? Is this game over now?
I mean, you have to feel the experience that Celtic have, the talent they have. You feel they might just be able to shut up shop.
Let me ask you something, Adam. I
Ask
was
away.
reading over the bios of these fine players in Etorito and Luca, and they both enjoy a fine game of tennis. I was wondering how they would fare in a game of doubles. You think they would be as effective and efficient as they are playing PES?
It would be hard to say. Of course, you know, having Luca Tubelli possibly at the net might be a mistake, but outside of that, maybe, again, I haven't seen them play, so it would be impossible to say. Of course, you did mention those two players and a bit of background, as we've of course got a few changes, which, Diego, do you want to tell us what they're doing here, Boavista, to try and change this game as I go through the stat pack from Luca and Etorito?
Well, we see Mateo there being, or I should say, Vasco Paciencia there being slotted up the field, trying to get, they have to risk, of course. They have to, of course, now try to force more goals. That makes them a little bit more vulnerable in defense, potentially, but they need to risk now. They have to get on the score sheet if they want to get something out of this game. They, of course, still have game 2 to play, so still everything to play for. They don't want to maybe be overly eager and concede more goals, but if they want to get something out of this one, then they have to start taking risks.
Absolutely, and just talking a little bit about Celtic FC again, Etorito, and in particular Luca Tubelli, because he doesn't possibly get the sort of airtime that his counterpart Etorito does. And obviously, you know, there are reasons for that. Etorito is the most decorated player in the world of PES. You know, he won a major trophy at the age of 14, which is just madness. Of course, winning 2010, 2012, 2014, 17, 18. The list goes on in terms of his medals in his cabinet. But what does Luca Tubelli bring to this co-op team, which makes them such a formidable outfit?
Well, I think he is the perfect partner, isn't he? We see it again as we see it over and over and over and over again. These two guys are a match made in heaven. Forget Batman and Robin. The dynamic duo are these two guys, Luca and Etorito. Once again, connecting for the assist and the goal. That's 4-1 now for Celtic, just demolishing Boavista in this first match of 2.
Absolutely, and we were just talking briefly about the dynamic. You mentioned how well they played together. They know each other's game inside out. And of course, Etorito scored 4 goals before today. And did he score them goals by himself? Well, no. Of course, Luca Tubelli has 4 assists.
That's
so
it.
it's simple. How this team works is that Luca Tubelli creates all the drama.
That's
and
it.
Etorito just finishes the job.
It's John Stockton to Karl Malone, if you want to make an NBA reference, and those
some of
enjoyed
these
90s
duos that you're bringing out, Diego, world class. As the question is, obviously, it's looking like now, 76 minutes gone, that Celtic are going to win this first game, barring a huge meltdown from themselves or an incredible last 30 minutes or so.
The biggest margin we've seen so far.
Yeah,
right?
but how can Boavista change that in the second game? Can they change that?
Well, you got to feel sorry for the guys from Boavista, because from the scoreline you might think that this has been a little bit of a cakewalk, but
it flatters Celtic a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Boavista came out with everything against them, going down in what was the quickest goal in PES League history or PES history, and they responded very well.
They also had the goal disallowed. They hit the crossbar.
Absolutely. So you got to feel for these boys, but they've shown and proven that they do have the quality to compete at the highest level. So hopefully they won't be affected too much by this, and they can be professional enough to start off the second match thinking, look, we can still get something out of this. They can still get a point.
Absolutely. And after their 93rd minute goal that they conceded in Matchday 1, you kind of feel that Boavista have the tag of most unlucky, you could say, so far in the eFootball.Pro League. And hopefully for them, their luck can change going into that second game as Forrest plays it down the line, looking for Weah. Support from Griffiths in the middle, and he gets there first ahead of the defender. He's got wide open space to run into, but he really dallied on the ball, and just when he should have played that pass towards Griffiths, he overran it, and it was cleared away for a corner, which wasn't really utilised in its best form, but they've got it back here, and Forrest can't get on the end of it.
Adam, you mentioned just how unlucky these guys from Boavista are. Let's remind our viewers and listeners that in the first match, Theo Meat put Boavista up 1-0 at the 83rd minute, only for them, as we
Chance
see...
here, 5-1, Celtic FC. An absolute machine. They are a machine. I mean, any team that can score 5 goals in one match without really going past second gear.
Against top opponents as well, top competition. Absolutely. They're having a field day right now.
I mean, it's a mistake again. They have to
losing their ball.
I mean, they have to kind of try things, don't they, when you're 4-1 down? But
when it rains, it pours, Adam. When it rains, it pours, and I imagine right now the guys from Boavista, all they will want is that final whistle to go off so that they can start.
I mean, the Cheshire Cat smile there from Eterito. He knows that they've got at least a point from Matchday 2, minimum of 4 points from 6, and you've got to fancy their chances going into that second game, because mentally now this is going to be so difficult, and I will be so mightily impressed if Boavista can turn this around and win this second game. It'll be some feat. So it's not to say they don't have the talent, it's to mentally recover from a 5-1 defeat.
That's it. I mean, you talked about their bad luck, so to speak. And I was mentioning how in the first match they went up 1-0 in the 83rd minute, only to end up tying the match because of a brilliant goal by Pau in that 90th minute. And that psychological advantage for Barça in this case maybe boiled over into the second match, which Boavista ended up losing. Were they psychologically affected? I'm not sure. We'll see how psychologically affected they will be by this game right now, suffering a 5-1 defeat. That's got to hurt, Adam.
Absolutely, it must hurt. What also must hurt is for Lotfi, he's been displaced at the top of the goal-scoring charts. He had 5 after his brace in the game against FC Nantes, but Eterito now has 7.
He's killing it.
He scored 3 from the possible 5. So Luca Tubelli now has, of course, 2 goals to his name. But I mean, Eterito on 7, Lotfi on 5, AS Monaco on 3, and then quite a few members on 2 there before Alex and Goul on 1.
It looks like Eterito will be receiving the hat-trick symbolic ball, hat-trick ball once again.
The second
consecutive
day in a row.
Unbelievable.
Of course, that leaves Celtic with 6 points. So far, of course, that would change if Boavista were able to win this next game, because remember, it's a best-of-2 scenario. Celtic FC must win both games or win the first game as they have done and draw the second game. They would then take the 3 points. If, of course, Boavista were able to win this second game, it would be 1 game win apiece and therefore 1 point apiece. But as things stand, Celtic have 6 points, AS Monaco have 3 points, which would change to 4 actually. So to update that, Monaco would have 4 as they won in game week 1 and they drew with FC Nantes as well, so they'd be on 4. FC Barcelona on 3 points. Of course, they have their game to come. FC Schalke 04 would be on 0 points before their game, which is coming soon against Barcelona, and FC Nantes have 1 point from their 2 games, and Boavista FC would be propping up the table on 0 points if this game is not a win for them.
Adam, I want to ask you something.
You can ask away.
You're a veteran in this.
I thought you were going to say what I just said was complete rubbish.
No, I want to ask you, being the veteran that you are in this game, knowing a lot more than me, I want to ask you, do you think that the guys from Boavista will be kicking themselves in the foot a little bit, that they haven't changed up a little bit and used Bounty 27, who's a very experienced player in his own right?
I think it's really tough because each player will have their own attributes which individually mean they are who they are in this tournament. As in, if they were playing 1v1, they would have their own strengths, and that's the reason why they've been selected. But as a collective, they would be a different setup. And Celtic again have scored early.
Are you kidding me?
How early? That is the question. Have they beaten their own record of 2 minutes and 29 seconds?
Are you kidding?
Because this is just insane how good these 2 players are, and Celtic FC are as a whole. And it's exactly the same goal.
Exact same goal
As the first match.
Time and time and time again. I'm having deja vu. Is this Groundhog's Day? Are we living a sort of Groundhog's Day? Because I'm having deja vu at the moment, Adam.
Absolutely. Bill Murray is back. I believe it's Bill Murray anyway. Apologies if it's not. Yeah, Groundhog Day indeed. It's exactly the same goal in exactly pretty much the same time. Let's see exactly. Oh, it's a bit slow, that. Only 3 minutes and 5 seconds. That's poor form. No, of course, going back to your original question, yeah, they all have, collectively, when you put 2 players together that are different from the team that's already gone out, the team will set up differently. So I think when they will make the changes will depend on who they're playing against, because obviously if a certain player is better at a certain area, they'll look to see who their opposition is, what their strengths are, and then match it up so that they can counter that, or see where the weaknesses are and who's going to be the person to sort of break that weakness down into goals, etc. I mean, it's hard to change a team that has that quality. Christopher and Tiamat, fantastic players in their own right. Not saying Bounty isn't, but the same as what we saw with AS Monaco. We were surprised that Red Mama possibly didn't play.
You're right, but you, right now you'd be thinking, you just, my heart goes out to these boys suffering one cruel defeat in Matchday 1, and now once again a crushing defeat at the hands of Celtic in Matchday 2. You'd imagine that the morale will not be the highest at the moment.
It won't be the highest, and I think what we'll see is if they do end up losing this game, which it's looking like, unless they can turn this around and get 2 goals against Celtic at least, because you kind of feel there's more goals in this for Celtic. Unless they can do that, you feel going into Matchday 3, they can still possibly qualify through the back door, through that sort of playoff system.
Of course.
Because remember, all 3 teams who finish in 4th, 5th and 6th will go into a playoff to join the 3 qualification stages, places, and make it a top 4. And it's in again here. It's another chance here, and time running out here for Boavista, and they're not...
Bad clearance, awful clearance by the goalkeeper there, giving the ball away.
Yeah, I would imagine going into Matchday 3, they might change things, because it's something needs to give. And yeah, they'll be, I mean, they've played against 2 fantastic teams, don't get me wrong.
That's for sure.
I think they'll be up against Nantes next, which is no mean feat, but I don't think any team is necessarily one you want.
The competition in this league is just so fierce and unforgiving, isn't it? Also, just referring back to that earlier chance, I think it was Luka there trying to get on the score sheet himself. I think he might have, it would sound weird for me to call him selfish, but was a little bit of a selfish play. I saw Etorito lurking there in the middle of the box, expecting the pass probably.
Unheard of, the assist maestro not providing that assist, and it's a throw-in on the near touchline to be taken by Talocha, and he's going to throw it down the line looking for Falcone, who's been, he's been a decent performer really for Boavista in these 2 games, but they just haven't had enough elsewhere around the field, unfortunately, to deal with Gamboa and co.
Now let me ask you something else, Adam. See, in professional football, there's something that at a certain point, when many goals have scored, you start taking it easy. You take your foot off the gas.
They don't do this. They don't do this. Celtic FC will go and go and go, and they will, ruthless. As you saw from the first game, they won 5-1, really at a canter towards the end, and they are looking to obviously go again for this second goal to kill this tie off, because they know if they get a second goal, I mean, it's a huge task for Boavista to get 3 in a game that is still being really dominated possession-wise anyway by Celtic.
So it's pedal to the metal still for Celtic, isn't it?
Absolutely. Falcone up towards the big man again, but he's unable to really make things stick. He's really struggled up against Hendry in that final third, and now Gamboa plays it forward towards Forrest. Support from McGregor, and then Eduardo again with Scott Sinclair on the left. Back to McGregor. Wonderful football here from Celtic. Plays it to Forrest. Surely the cross in. And again. And that is the epitome of Celtic FC. The team game. A team goal. Wonderful to watch, Diego.
It's over. Oh, I think they just got called offside.
Just when I waxed lyrical.
Oh, it is offside.
I mean, I waxed lyrical about how that might be one of the greatest goals we've seen today, the greatest team goals anyway, and unfortunately it's been cut short, the celebrations anyway, by a offside flag, and again, rightly so, just about. You've got to give the linesman credit there. Now, how do Boavista, how do they change this now? Can they change this? Is it gone? Is it too little, too late?
My heart goes out to.
I mean, it's only 1-0.
It is just 1-0, but you feel it feels a lot more heavier because of that earlier defeat, the 5-1 defeat that they suffered in match 1. If this 1-0 is feeling extremely heavy on them, I think.
I mean, I think if Boavista were 1-0 to the good.
Have they had a clear chance yet in this game? I don't recall.
Not in this game, no. Defensively, Celtic took a stern look at themselves, and they've made some changes, and they've been a better outfit. But it's obviously taken away
Watch out.
It's taken away from their free-flowing football. They're not quite as ruthless in that final third, but they've had enough. But yeah, I mean, if it was roles reversed and Boavista were 1-0 up, I could see potentially they might be able to see a game out, because with Tiamat especially, he is one of the greatest at holding a 1-0 or a 2-0 or a 2-1 lead. He doesn't let too much go after that. But as soon as he goes behind, it struggles a little bit. And of course, he's not alone as well, because he's playing with Christopher. And it's a completely different dynamic from the 1v1s and that. And Arzani finds Bitten, and Bitten is dispossessed there by Idris. And yeah, I can't really see much happening in the final third for Boavista.
They're having trouble. Oh, here we go. There's a little string of passes, the 1-2 between the two Boavista strikers. Can they get a shot on goal? No.
Defensively again from Celtic. So solid.
So solid.
So 35 minutes gone here.
What was that? A little bit of a De Jong on Xabi Alonso moment there.
Little bit of afters there.
To the chest.
Slight frustration possibly kicking in as we tick towards the final 10 minutes of the match. Celtic 1, or of the first half, sorry. Celtic 1, Boavista 0, and it's a fair result on the balance of play, isn't it, Diego?
Yeah, you definitely say so. As we were mentioning before, don't remember Boavista getting any clear chances on goal. The Celtic defense just looking very solid, and the pressure is just relentless. I would love to see the possession stats, because I think we'll see quite a difference here. Boavista just unable to string together any passes, as we again see a chance.
I mean,
for Celtic there.
The cheek of the man in the middle there, the backwards header, that would have been some goal, I was just about to say, and it would have been proved completely wrong if he were to score, having seen it go over the top. Of course, with it still only being 1-0, with the chances coming and going for Celtic, and with this high intensity that Celtic have been playing, the high press, the high speed to their play, possible fatigue setting in the second half, Diego. Might we see Boavista possibly being able to turn this around?
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, they certainly will want to take their chances and continue to be as effective and efficient in front of goal as they were in match 1, because it is just 1-0, as you mentioned, and one goal can change the entire landscape.
Oh, it's a late challenge there. The referee plays a
Plays
good
the advantage
advantage,
here.
and
Very well.
it's back towards Tahir
Here we
now.
go.
Idris,
Here
and
we
now
go.
Falcone on the right.
Oh.
He's gone back to Tahir.
Oh.
It was possibly the wrong pass, that, Diego.
Should he gone for a shot on goal there?
Yeah, he could have gone for a shot. He could have played in Falcone. He went right to Tahir, and it was the wrong decision, really.
Now, we don't see many goals scored from a distance. Is that a reason why he would have gone for that extra pass?
I think often in Pro Evolution Soccer, especially at this high level, you'll see this, they play the percentages. So if they feel that extra pass gets them in a 25% better position for the shot, they will take that. Yes, they're world class. They can score from anywhere.
Sure.
But if they get a better chance at a closer distance, in a better angle, they will take that pass. And that's why you'll always see them. Sometimes you feel they play one pass too many, and sometimes it doesn't come off, but 9 times out of 10, they're that experienced at this level, it tends to work.
They just want to walk the ball over the line, don't they?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
As the second half is on the way, Adam.
It's completely underway, as we've seen so far today. No changes again at half-time, both sides fairly happy with how proceedings have gone, because Celtic are, of course, winning. They'll be happy, but just a 1 goal down. And a big chance here. And now we have a game. And that is some header, Diego.
What a header. What a header. Catching the keeper off guard. Keeper was off his line. Very well spotted by the Boavista boys, who took advantage of that.
You said why no changes? Well, that is why. Boavista knew they had it in the locker. And I said to you, just as the doubt was starting to creep in the end of the 5 minutes of the first half, with the chances coming and going for Celtic, with possible fatigue setting in the second half, a goal now for Boavista.
What a goal!
It was a truly sensational header over the top of the goalkeeper, but that will now possibly sow a shed or a seed of doubt into the minds of the Celtic FC players, won't it?
Oh, well, I would assume that they are professional enough to not be affected by this. But what I will say is it'll probably give a glimmer of hope to the guys from Boavista that will now say, look, we can get something out of this. We can still get a point out of this match against Celtic.
Absolutely. A goal now, even though they lost the first game 5-1, a goal now for Boavista would give them 1 point from Matchday 2 if they were to maintain their defensive record of just the 1 goal conceded. So if they were to win this 2-1 or 3-1 or 3-2, just win the game, they will of course be walking away from today unscathed from Celtic FC with 1 point. And the first point on the board, which is usually the most important. You feel for them if they were to lose this game and have 0 points after 2 games.
Tough situation. Very tough situation. Of course, they could still make it through the final chance group, or if they just end up winning all of their final matches, but it's certainly a situation that you don't want to be in. No points after 2 match days. That's tough. That's a tough situation to be in particular for a squad that is so talented and quite frankly is a little bit unlucky. I mean, it might sound silly to say that they're unlucky after they went down losing the first match 5-1, but let's not forget that they started out that match so well.
It really didn't tell the story of the game, that 5-1. As impressive as Celtic were in that second half, it hugely flattered them, I feel, and really in the balance of the first half play, I thought Boavista possibly shaded it and were unlucky to go in 2-1 down after the disallowed goal and, of course, rattling the frame of the goal as well. 57 minutes gone here. Celtic 1, Boavista 1. Changes here as Weah comes on for Arzani, and Griffiths comes on for McGregor as well for Celtic, and as Johnson comes on for Sinclair as well. So the goal scorer, Scott Sinclair, departs. Johnston comes on. And so we've got pretty much triple changes all round as Samu comes on for Tahir as well. And Weah, one of the substitutes, tries to find Griffiths, but it's a great interception. Half an hour remaining. Go for broke here for Boavista.
I'll tell you what, Adam.
Tell me what. Go on then. You tell me.
They're cooking something up. I think the guys from Boavista are cooking something up. I think we might be surprised. We could get something.
You've heard it here first. Diego has jumped off that fence. He predicts a last gasp bit of drama here from Boavista to drag.
I feel the energy has changed. Something has changed. I feel these boys are a little bit less deflated and defeated, and they're smelling something.
Looking to drag 1 point from the jaws of defeat here as Boavista again mopping up possession incredibly well, and that is one thing you have to say defensively. Boavista have been much better in this second game.
So much better. Oh,
that was a chance again. Good interception as Eduard tries to play the ball through towards Griffiths, and now support on the left-hand side, but again, Celtic just aren't able to string 2 or 3 passes together. They are looking a bit tired. They are looking a bit leggy, and we said that after the opening blistering 45 minutes. But
now, why would you give the ball away so cheaply? You did excellent. You stayed cool, calm, collected under pressure, managed to win the ball back, but then you booted away.
I mean, look at the heart rate there of Christopher. 167. He is feeling the heat for sure. Maybe that is just sheer excitement and adrenaline, because he knows they are one decent attack away from snatching a point here against, you would say, on paper, so far from what we've seen from the 2 match days, the favourites.
But they're smelling something. They're smelling blood. I think, I don't know. I have a gut feeling, Adam.
We will wait and see. We will wait and see whether
changing things up.
Diego's gut is correct or not.
It might just be the Thai food I had last night as well. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Now, what have they changed here? Is it just personnel, Diego? They tweaked anything formation-wise or role-wise?
They're pushing their midfield up a little bit. They're attacking mid.
Higher press,
yeah. You know, with only 15 minutes left of gameplay here in game 2, they need to risk something if they want to get a point out of this.
They have to risk it for a biscuit, and of course, that is when they are at their most dangerous, Celtic FC, when teams press and go for broke. They often catch them on the counter in lethal counter-attacking style, and they've got the ball here, and the chance is on again through Weah. He just allowed it to just go past him. I mean, the touch was on, and he just completely missed it, and that's disappointing for Gamboa. 14 minutes remaining, and still Celtic 1, Boavista 1. How is this game still in the balance, Diego?
Wow. Well, I'm not entirely sure, Adam, but what I will tell you is that these final 10 minutes are going to be cutthroat.
Do you feel that these are 10 minutes that will make or break Boavista's eFootball.Pro season?
Could very well be. Yeah, you said it, Adam. It could very well be the case. We'll see as they now are going to attack themselves, putting in a cross. What is that, a corner? Is that a... Yes, it is.
And it's going to be taken here on the near touchline by Indio. And he's going to play it left-footed in towards the danger area. He's got Falcone there. Boyata is there, of course, for Celtic position to try and mark him out of the game, and it was Boyata who got the header in, but it's still in the danger area. And the referee's given a free kick. He's given a free kick in a very dangerous position here.
Wow.
And it's going to be taken right in the D.
The drama, Adam.
And with 10 minutes remaining, if they could score here, we could see a huge turnaround, and something we just didn't see happening as soon as Celtic took the lead in the 3rd minute. He's gone for goal first time. They often play it short. He went for it. It's just hit the top of the wall. Still, they press. It's been a thoroughly impressive performance from Boavista FC.
What a game. Give credit to these Boavista boys for coming back after the 5-1
Well, I questioned it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said to you, how would they respond?
They responded like pros respond. Very serious, dusting off the defeat of their shoulders.
Absolutely.
And taking this game head on.
Nunes out towards Macedo, and now a chance to possibly whip it into the danger area. That's a late challenge from Celtic, and we might start seeing a bit of gamesmanship creeping in here, Diego. Celtic know a point, well, not a point, a draw here is enough to give them all 3 points, because, of course, they won that first game in this best-of-2 Matchday 2.
10 minutes, Adam. What a final 10 minutes. You can cut the tension with a knife.
Absolutely. 4 minutes plus added on time. Fourth official walks towards the area of his technical space as it's played in, and Henry anywhere will do here for Celtic FC. Macedo again down on this near touchline. Support from Samu and Ibrahim and Falcone. All the big men up from the back as it's played in towards the danger area. Whacked away by Boata. Silva, still Boavista press. You just feel something, as you said, is brewing. Can they turn this into a goal? And the offside flag is raised at the worst possible time.
Ouch. Was that the final attack?
After all of that pressure, all of that pressing, to give away a cheap free kick like that must be soul-destroying. As Gordon whacks it away again. Celtic on the brink of another 3 points here. Weah out towards Johnston. Surely all over here. Will he go to the corner? Will they go for the winning goal on the day, even though potentially they have already won it after winning? What a back heel. It's Griffiths into the danger area and challenged right at the last minute. And surely they'll keep the ball in this corner, and it will be another 3 points for the almost unbeatable Celtic FC. 10 goals scored, 4 conceded. And Tierney finds Johnston, right, left foot, Eduardo, and he's put it wide of the target, but it will not matter. It's finished 1-1 on the day, but of course they won the first game 5-1, and of course it means they go away with all 3 points from match day 2. We will, of course, be going to the mixed zone very shortly to get some interviews with Eterito, Luca Tubelli, Christopher and Tierney from Boavista as well. But what a second game here, and we've still got the biggest game potentially on paper as called by the experts / pundits of Schalke 04 and FC Barcelona. But what a game we have witnessed here. It wasn't the goal fest in this second game that we saw in the first game, but a crucial 1-1 draw for Celtic sees them going home with all 3 points as the header comes in and goes into the back of the net there. 2 very early goals from Celtic in both games. In the first game, of course, Falcone and Boavista FC responded brilliantly. The header went back off the crossbar. He was able to turn it home on the rebound, but then Celtic went up the other end almost instantaneously again. Again, another header from Eduardo, and the goalkeeper left with absolutely no chance. Questionable defending there, leaving him so much room. And then the through ball, chip through ball over the top, found Scott Sinclair in acres of space. One touch with the right foot, one touch with the left foot, and the rest was history. That 3-1 scoreline led them pretty much most of the way to their first game victory before 2 late-ish goals, a 75th minute fourth, and I believe in far later fifth, which we will just see very, very shortly. Yes, of course, it was right in the dying seconds as Griffiths turned home from close range with a left foot, a thumping drive into the roof there. Again, the goalkeeper left with pretty much absolutely no chance, left pretty isolated by the defenders there. And then into the second game. And again, as Diego said in commentary, Groundhog Day, as Celtic took a 1-0 lead after just 3 minutes. Their ability to start and score early is just incredible. They do it time and time again, and that gave them the platform. They didn't need to really go out. They missed quite a few chances in that first half. We thought it might make for a pretty interesting second half if Boavista were able to equalise. They did equalise. They weren't able to turn that into a 2-1 victory, which would, of course, given them 1 point apiece on the day. And that means, of course, Celtic walk away from matchday 2 with all 3 points after winning 5-1 and drawing 1-1. Now, as you can see on your screen, we have the wonderful, the beautiful, not sure about beautiful, but wonderful Diego Lorin with Boavista FC players Christopher and Tierney. Let's hear what the players have got to say.
That's it, Adam. I'm here joined by Tierney and Christopher. Guys, my condolences for the loss. That first match in particular, managing to come back 1-1 after Celtic go up 1-0, but then finally losing 5-1. Just how big of a blow is that 5-1 defeat moving into the second match?
Yeah, no, that's difficult. On the second game, you change the tactic because you understand finally that the 4-4-2 is not the way to beat them. And for the second game, you change the settings. Usually you play possession style, so you keep possession style for the second game, and curiously you play better. I think, unfortunately, you don't have the luck you need in the first game. They shoot 5 times, they score 5 goals. It's amazing. They are great players, but I think you don't have the bit luck you need on this kind of games, and so that's always played on little details. And so congratulations to them, and we'll continue to work to be ready for the next one.
This certainly comes down to the little details. You guys were quite hard done by, but at the end of the day, 2 match days in, no points. How do you guys plan to move forward? Can we expect any changes for match day 3?
Yes, I think you will talk about that. You study a lot for this game, but you saw for the 4-4-2 finally is difficult. And yeah, you need to work, but because you know our team don't have the best overall possible to play on this mode, and you have to find a way to kind of rivalize with our opponents. So we'll think about that, and no, the competition is very long.
It is indeed. Well, and I wish you guys the very best of luck moving forward. Christopher, Tiomit, bonsoir. Merci. Well, Adam, there you have it. The guys from Boavista leaving empty-handed, but they certainly gave it a valiant effort.
Diego, very interesting to hear from Christopher there from Boavista FC. We will also be going very shortly to Celtic FC as well to hear from the winners there. But most importantly, what I got from that from Boavista is that they did change tactics, they changed formation in that second game, and it really worked, and they were very, very unlucky to not come out with a better result on the second game, and now they've got an uphill task of going into that third match day to get some points on the board. We now have, of course, as you can see on your screen here, Diego again, but this time with the winners, and congratulations to Celtic FC, Eterito on your right-hand side and Luca Tubelli on the left. Take it away, Diego.
Winners of the day, Eterito and Luca. Eterito, once again, second time in a row that I'm giving you the hat-trick ball. Congratulations on the win, of course, winning that match 5-1 and finally taking that second match as well, drawing it but taking the 3 points. Just how are you guys feeling right now?
First of the game, me and Luca was very confident because we train a lot online with a good result. So today we play 2 good games, probably the first better than the second. The second after 1-0 and the offside of Edward, Boavista play well than us. So I think draw it's a good result for us and for they. It's the first result, but the first was better for us.
Absolutely. I was earlier mentioning to Adam that, you know, when it comes to dynamic duos, you've got Batman and Robin and you've got Luca and Eterito. Probably even a better dynamic duo than Batman and Robin. Do you guys see any other competition that you guys fear in this league, or do you guys view yourselves as the clear favorites as well?
Of course, all team it's very difficult. Monaco esports, for example, it's very, very strong. Schalke, Barcelona. I think all the team it's very good, because have a professional player that's playing in PES League, have 2 world champions in this competition, Christopher, Uzma. So I think it's difficult to win this competition, but at the moment we have 6 points, 2 hat-trick in the row. I'm so proud of this, and only this.
Of course, Luca continuing to rack up those assists. Absolutely incredible stuff, boys. It's a pleasure to see you guys play. It is a true joy to be standing next to these 2 champions in their own right, and have taken all the 6 points, the hat-trick as well. And well, Adam, back over to you. I'm leaving you these boys very happy.
Yeah, thanks very much, Diego, and thanks, Eterito, for those words of wisdom from the most decorated player in Pro Evolution Soccer. The guy has won it all. He now sits pretty with 6 points alongside Luca Tubelli, of course, for Celtic FC, and he is the Golden Boot leader at this moment in time, and we'll tell you exactly how many goals he's got. He's got too many. We've forgotten how many he's got. But yeah, great to hear from them, and they said, of course, on the day, the first game they kind of did the damage. They knew that a point was enough, and they were professional enough to see that second game through under some serious threat and pressure from Boavista FC. Of course, one of the things that we're going to be doing as well is the MVP, and and Jos, our pundit, our PES expert, will be selecting that, and you guys at home can help on Twitter at eFootball.Pro. So let's go to the video for that right now.
Hola a todos, soy Alex Alguacil, jugador profesional de PES para el FC Barcelona, y hoy vamos a enseñaros una serie de consejos, trucos para que podáis ser jugador profesional como yo. con el primer consejo, el que parezca un poco lógico o habitual, el jugar muchas horas, el sacrificio. Es muy difícil muchas veces de llevarlo a cabo. Habrá días que os cueste más entrenar, pero tenéis que llevar una rutina de entreno, ser serios, porque si no lo hacéis habrá otro jugador que lo haga y es el que sacará esa ventaja que luego hará falta en las grandes competiciones. Vamos con el segundo consejo. ¿Quién sería el mejor jugador? En mi opinión, el mejor jugador no es el más habilidoso o el que más horas juega, sino el más completo. El juego, aunque parezca mentira, es muy denso y hay muchos sitios donde se puede sacar ventaja, no solo en la habilidad o en la velocidad de juego. Mi consejo es que no os centréis en una cosa, seáis abiertos mentalmente a aprender todo tipo de cosas, tanto en formación, jugadas ensayadas y habilidad. Al fin y al cabo, el que consiga dominarlas será el mejor, seguro. El tercer consejo que podría dar parece lógico, parece normal. Yo creo que todo el mundo lo ha hecho en casa alguna vez, viendo a su futbolista favorito, cómo hacen sus trucos. Pues yo lo haría igual en PES, ¿no? Intentar siempre que haya algún evento internacional o importante, ver cómo juegan, ¿no? Los jugadores que juegan ahí, porque al fin y al cabo son los mejores. Intentar aprender, fijaros ahí qué cositas hacen que tú a lo mejor no puedas hacer, cómo encaran los partidos, cómo reaccionan ante altibajos. Yo creo que es una cosa muy importante y creo que va a hacer que al final esas son cositas que marcan la diferencia para el futuro. Otro consejo muy importante para mí es la mentalidad. Habrá momentos en el partido en el que no salgan las cosas, en el que está todo muy en tensión, no se sabe quién lleva la iniciativa y al final el jugador mejor mentalmente preparado es el que va a llevarse el gato al agua. El consejo es que seáis afables con las cosas que pasan en el partido, no os intentéis tiltear rápido a la primera de cambio. Dar siempre una perspectiva muy buena de cómo pasa la cosa y sacar siempre lo positivo, porque si no os vais a bloquear y salir de ahí es muy difícil. Y como todo, pero no os preocupéis porque esto es algo que con el tiempo, con la experiencia lo vayáis ganando y que se puede moldear. Así que intentarlo, tenerlo en cuenta porque es muy importante. Bueno, como último consejo voy a dar uno muy importante, muy en general, pero sí es verdad que siempre está esa duda, ¿no? De cómo llegar a jugar en los torneos finales, los torneos globales. Lo primero de todo, siempre empezaréis jugando online. Os veréis cada vez y iréis mejor. No os fiéis del todo de la valoración general porque siempre es un poco inestable. Guiaros ahí por la sensación que tenéis a la hora de jugar. Si veis que vais progresando, que vais dominando más el juego, es lo realmente importante. Otra cosa importante es que sigáis siempre las competiciones. Siempre que salga alguna, probar suerte. No tengáis miedo de perder o de que jueguen jugadores mejores que vosotros, porque ahí es donde realmente vais a dar un salto de calidad. Y poco más, seguir probando suerte. Al fin y al cabo, esto es lo que nos gusta. Todos soñamos con llegar a una final presencial. Sabéis que la recompensa es muy satisfactoria, llegar ahí, jugar con los mejores en escenarios emblemáticos y disfrutar de esto. Así que seguir a tope, echarle ganas. No es fácil, pero que no se os falte nunca la ilusión, que es lo que realmente importa. Así que a tope. Hasta pronto.
Yep, lovely to hear from Alex Alguacil from FC Barcelona, one of Matchday 1's MVPs, of course, and he was telling everyone how to become a pro player. I mean, you need to, because I've seen you play. Of course, before we jump on to the next game, which is, of course, FC Barcelona versus Schalke 04, the pick of the day, really. Touch on one last sort of comment on the game that we've just seen.
Well, you know, the Barcelona maybe started out a little bit sloppy in their initial match against Boavista. They will not want to do that today against these guys at Schalke, who have a lot of years of experience playing together, and they will punish these guys from Barça if they do start out as sloppy.
Absolutely. So the next game, I mean, we may as well get to it. It is, I believe it was your pick of the game week.
It was Jos's more importantly, but it was mine too. Yeah.
I mean, I think collectively we all said because of how good Barcelona played in the first match and of course how experienced Schalke 04 are.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to go to the stage now to see the players, of course, for the two teams. We've got Gul and El Matador for Schalke 04 and of course Pau and Alex Alguacil for FC Barcelona. Take it away, guys.
Hello, guys.
Let's take a seat, please. The captain here, please.
So, of course, we've got Schalke 04 on your left-hand side and FC Barcelona on the right. Now, out of the 4 players here on show, Diego, there is one who is a little bit more inexperienced, you could say, and that's not because he's not got pedigree, which I'm sure you'll touch on, but of course he's playing with or against, of course, Alex with and the other 2 against, players who have done everything. You know, they've been to major tournaments, they've won everything, haven't they?
Absolutely. I mean, and you're touching there on Pau. He was, of course, the PES world champion in 2012, so he does have that pedigree. Now, when it comes to playing together, they're probably less or potentially less experienced as these other guys, the Big Mike and Big Matthias, as I like to call them, the big boys, the big German guys who have been playing together since over 10 years, I think it is.
I mean, yeah, because of course they've got a brother as well, who's part of that trio, and they've all been playing for at least 10 years together collectively. Of course, Mike is our, or Matthias, should I say, is our oldest player, our most senior in the tournament so far at 36, so which isn't old, but it's compared to the players who the likes of, we've already mentioned, Lotfi, who's 19, you know, that shows some experience, and that's possibly why Schalke are considered one of the favourites due to that experience, Diego?
Probably, Adam, and I also just want to say I appreciate you saying 36 is not old. I recently turned 37, so...
Well, 37 is old, right? There's the cut-off. It's 36 is fine, 37...
Now
I'm joking,
old.
of course.
I'm thinking old. No, it's true. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, these guys have been playing together for such a long time. You think that they know each other's moves with their eyes closed. That said,
and that's just the dance moves. They're all coming out. Yeah, no, I completely agree. They've played together so much. They know each other's game inside out, and it's going to be fascinating to watch how they deal with. I mean, remember, Alex has played alongside Luca and of course Eterito in the co-op victory in the PES League in July 2018. He's kind of responded pretty well to playing with Pau. They've got quite a nice setup going on there as well.
Yeah, they do, and Alex was very generous to give a lot of praise to his new teammate Pau, saying how well he responded despite all of the pressure and eyes that were set upon him. You know, some people were a little bit surprised that Pau was selected as Alex's teammate, but he's done so very well, scoring that crucial goal, the equalizer in Matchday 1, to send them into the second game with the momentum on their side and finally eventually winning that. And in terms of the Schalke boys, they need to beef up their defense a little bit. I mean, I think they were quite sloppy in their match against Monaco, quite slow to react whenever they switch from attack back to the defense. So let's see if they learn from their mistakes, because, you know, let's face it, Barça, Alex and Pau, certainly a side that will not hand out any gifts and show no mercy.
Absolutely. So FC Barcelona with 3 points already before today. Schalke 04 with 0 points after their defeat in match day 1. And we are seconds from kickoff here inside the eFootball.Pro League stadium, or the eFootball.Pro League arena. Of course, as you see a close-up of some of the players there. And it's going to be a titanic battle, isn't it?
It is. We see here Schalke with a 4-4-2 formation.
Something we've not seen the Diamond so far today. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, not really. Well, Christopher mentioned that they had to switch up their tactics. They started out with a 4-4-2, then quickly had to switch it up in their uphill battle against Celtic. But here we see Barca with a 4-1-2-3 formation. And I'm expecting them to take the game right to it. Although, having said that, Alex always confesses that he is more comfortable giving up possession. Again, something that surprised me.
I think they may do that in this game because, of course, Schalke playing with that narrow diamond has an extra player in and around the trio of the midfield of FC Barcelona, so they will have to at times concede possession, but the question is, will Schalke have enough going forwards, drawing that player in the field, that it may get a bit tight in there, may play into Barcelona's hands on the counter-attack, of course. And we are underway. Schalke 04 kicking from left to right in the blue and white, and FC Barcelona in the away strip yellow, and it is Lionel Messi, one of the greats, of course, of world football, and it's been a joy to watch over the last 10 years or more. As
beautiful
Coutinho,
connected string of passes there.
And Coutinho just wasn't able to pull the trigger there, and Schalke were able to clear. How and where on the pitch are Schalke going to do the damage if they're going to win this game, Diego?
Well, you expect them probably to try to get down through the middle against Barça. We haven't really seen that many teams hurt their opponents playing them out wide, except for, I mean, Celtic certainly did put in many crosses time and time again, but all of those crosses pretty much came from within the box. So there's not a lot of teams that have played their opponents out wide. So here again we see Barça trying to go down right through the middle and be dangerous on that. I think we'll see the same, we'll see similar at least from Schalke.
What I didn't ask you before kickoff, which I'm just going to wait for this to go in.
Sloppy bit of defending there.
And Philippe Coutinho
exactly what we talked about.
has given FC Barcelona a 1-0 lead here. And, well, it's exactly what they wanted. It's exactly what happened against Boavista in Matchday 1. They are preying on mistakes here.
Yeah, and it happened with Schalke as well. Sloppy bit of defending from Schalke. And I mentioned it before, Barça will show no mercy at any sort of mistake. And, well, they're paying the price right now. Look at this.
Absolutely.
Had the ball there. Oh.
I believe if we're looking at it, wasn't the best of finishes, to be honest. It was fairly central. The goalkeeper will probably feel a little bit disappointed. He wasn't able to get more on that, just the fingertips. Now looking at the goal-scoring chart on my right-hand side, which I believe is updating as we speak. It looks like that goal was scored by Alex Alguacil, which takes him to 2 from 1. I could, of course, be making a massive lie-up, and you will never know until the end. 15 minutes gone here. Schalke 0 FC Barcelona 1. And, importantly, I was going to ask you before kick-off, your prediction, try and forget what we've just seen before kick-off. Would you have gone with Barcelona or would you have gone with Schalke?
I probably would have gone with Barça, yes.
I will never know whether that's true or not, unfortunately. 18 minutes gone here. Schalke 0, and they need to turn this around. They've not really been under too much pressure, but the one mistake has been absolutely catastrophic here inside the opening 20 minutes as Sergi Roberto plays to Luis Suarez. Now finds Philippe Coutinho. Tried to find Lionel Messi over the back and unfortunately wasn't able to get there, and out towards Harid on the left-hand side. Konoplyanka now finds Mbolo, and Sergi Roberto just manages to pick possession away, and Barcelona have been impressive on the counter-attack, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They certainly have. We know that that is Alex's game. And Pau's so strong on the counter. Just hugely efficient.
Baba there
whenever with the minimum possession. Absolutely. As we now see Schalke putting in a cross. Can they get a shot off? No.
Baba there almost got in there on loan from Chelsea. As far as I'm aware, last time I checked anyway, unless that deal's gone through on a permanent basis. 26 minutes gone now, halfway through the first half, and it's been a fairly even first period, hasn't it?
Yes, so far yes, although Barça has the upper hand. You mentioned there the transfers that has happened for Schalke, or we should also mention Boateng is not, of course, in this game. This hasn't been updated yet, is that right?
Basically what's happened is because the transfer window has not slammed shut, there are some of the early transfers have been updated into the game, but I believe we will wait till the final stages of the transfer window, the January transfer window, of course. We'll have to wait a long time for the summer transfer window when it all starts again. But yeah, as soon as that slams shut, the game will get another update as far as I'm aware, and all the players will be in their correct positions. But the guys behind the scenes can only do so much, Diego. They can't be there on a minute basis. So the play down the right-hand side, a chance to whip it into the danger area. He's got support from right. Mbolo, the big men up, and Konoplyanka just couldn't quite get under control. And now Lionel Messi has a chance to spring the counter-attack through. Luis Suarez can't get on the end of a Philippe Coutinho pass, but crucially, they are looking very, very dangerous on that counter.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're talking earlier, how will Schalke react? Well, I said I predict them to go down the middle, but we've already seen them go out wide twice now, trying to slot in the cross and take advantage of the big man in the middle. See if they can get back into this game.
Rafinha finds Suarez into Coutinho, saved by the goalkeeper, back out to Philippe Coutinho off the post. How on earth has that stayed out, Diego?
Well, it was on the line, ricocheting in between, back and forth between, what was it, the post
It hit the post, it hit the centre-back, it ricocheted right back out. It could have gone anywhere. It went to, thankfully for Schalke, a blue shirt. And of course, Philippe Coutinho wasn't able to add to that early goal to make it 2-0. But now Embolo's stolen possession, finds right, crosses towards the back post. It's 1-1. It's 1-1 in the blink of an eye. It should have been 2-0. It's now 1-1.
Did ever so well. Schalke did ever so well to recuperate that ball. Very aggressive, not overly aggressive, but in getting that ball back, and so quick into slotting that ball to the middle, finding the open man, who eventually, not sure who it was,
I mean, it was,
but whoever it was finished it off. I mean, in the far corner.
I'm not playing down the talents of Schalke 04, of course, but that was a very Barcelona-esque goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
As soon as he stole possession, very quick, intricate, one touch,
Absolutely.
and then
wasted no time. Didn't even need to put a touch on it. Just volleyed that into the back of the net.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful
Little
football
chip.
all round.
Bam!
First time volley there, and deservedly, really, you feel, because they'll kick themselves about that mistake.
Yeah.
But outside of that, FC Barcelona haven't really created a great deal. So, of course, they're well worthy of that 1-1.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's, again, similar as the first half has now come to an end. It's similar the way they started out against Monaco. I think it was Monaco to get on the score sheet first, and then them coming back to equalise.
Yeah, and one thing I will add, looking at those stats, I said that Schalke would feel disappointed about the mistake in conceding, but FC Barcelona have conceded one shot. And they've conceded a goal, so they will feel disappointed about their luck as well going the other side.
As we see a little change up there in the formation, taking out Rafinha and bringing on Malcolm. We expect Barça to go for the kill here to see if they can get more goals or bringing on more attackers.
Philippe Coutinho finds Sergio Roberto, back to Suarez. Now Roberto again in towards Malcolm, surely. Oh, it's gone the wrong side of the post, Diego. What a chance for Barcelona.
I think the ball just kisses the post there. So unlucky not to go in.
I mean, should he have done better, Malcolm, there?
Going for the near post, maybe?
I mean, I think the shake of the head there from Alex.
Tell you what, they won't get many more chances like that.
It certainly was a gilt-edged opportunity, you have to say. Someone of his talent should be at least getting it on target and making the goalkeeper work, as Suarez finds Roberto back towards Philippe Coutinho.
That surely is the goal.
It doesn't matter, because a minute later they are in front.
Fantastic bit of team play. Little 1-2 touch. And put the ball down, right down the middle to find the open man, and wasting no time in putting that to the back of the net.
And the twinkle-toed Brazilian Philippe Coutinho, who's been a bit in and out of the team at the moment, well, this is why he plays. What a pass from Sergio Roberto.
Fantastic.
And the finish from the former Liverpool man was just stunning. First time, clinical.
Absolutely, Adam. Just look at that. Impossible for the goalkeeper.
Absolutely, the pace that it was fired in at, even though the goalkeeper was, within the vicinity, had absolutely no chance, and he's picking the ball out of the net without really actually doing much himself.
Yeah. Tough. And now, Big Mike and Matias find themselves down 1 goal again. Again, I hate to bring this up, but similar to what they faced in Monaco in Matchday 1, are they able to get back to level the score?
We will wait and see. Remember, this is the final match here in match day 2, but it's just the first instalment because we have a second leg. Almost.
Well, my question was nearly answered there.
And we were talking about, at this level, you have to take your chances. FC Barcelona were let off the hook because they scored a minute later. Will Schalke do the same? If not, that is a huge opportunity that has come and gone and been passed up. 54 minutes gone, and they still trail by 2-1. And crucially, Barcelona are on the counter-attack here through Dembele. Dembele has support from Messi and Malcolm and Suarez. And Malcolm, a chance here, saved and finally cleared by Sane. Breathtaking.
Again,
Diego.
we talked about it a little bit earlier about teams wanting to walk the ball into the back of the net. Seemed to be the case in this one. Again, you will know better than me, and certainly these players will, but my impulse would have said, shoot!
Yeah, and often, that, like I said, they often do take that extra pass or touch to play the percentages. And yes, it will work, but also there will be times when that first-time shot would have been a better option. But hindsight is a wonderful thing, Diego.
It is, isn't it?
we can easily sit here and say it after the chance is missed.
Yeah.
Semedo finds Dembele, and Barcelona growing in confidence in their second half, looking to kill off the tie. Can they do it, or will Schalke grab an equalising goal in this final third? Oh, it's broken down here from right. He just couldn't quite get in front of ter Stegen.
Long balls there.
How do they do it, Diego? What does Schalke need to do?
Well, Schalke, what they want to do is press Barca as much as they can, trying to get their foot on the ball as much as possible. I don't think they want to have Barca really hit them on the counter, which is, of course, their strength. Here we see Baba seeing if they can send Schopf running wide, looking for Mbolo. Nope, cannot connect. Semedo now passing the ball to Messi. Messi back to Semedo, but also they cannot connect. Schopf.
Yeah, it's got a little bit scrappy in the last 5 minutes or so. The pressure just starting to build, because these next 20 minutes could really make or break these two teams' seasons. Remember, if Barcelona were able to win over the two games, they would be sitting with Celtic FC with 6 points. However, if Schalke 04 are able to get back into the game, we see Michael here.
He can finish this. And he does. And he does.
How calm are you, Mr. Schalke 04 pair? Because as the ball came in, I'm not sure whether it was Mateus or, of course, Mike in El Matador in the process of that attack, who actually got the final finish. But boy, was it brilliant, because we all thought he's going to go across goal. The goalkeeper thought he was going to go across goal, and then he just slipped it in the near post with the outside of the right boot.
He had a lot of time as well to control the ball. Look at that, with his foot, 2 touches, and then slotting it in the near post.
Absolutely
wonderful
delightful.
Goal. Wonderful goal.
Again, on the balance of play, you'd have to say, but FC Barcelona have slightly shaded it, but it's been fairly even, hasn't it?
Yeah.
A worthy equaliser.
It has, and look at the delight on the faces of these boys. They know that they're still in it, where Alex is certainly frustrated.
Yeah, going to
conceded that goal.
The refreshment, and believe it or not, it's not the team who have scored. It's not the team who have conceded that are going to be making changes to rectify that. It's going to be the team who have scored, in the form, of course, of the Germans, who are looking to really play on that equalising goal and possibly go for a winner here, because they know the momentum's with them, isn't it?
It looks that way. Yeah, we see them switching up there, the attacking mid. They're going for the win here. I like it. Ambitious.
I mean, you've got to be in it to win it, and they've been accused in the past of being a little bit conservative and often just sort of dropping out by the odd goal here and there. Well, maybe they're trying to take this game by the scruff of the neck and not leave it up to the gods to decide.
That's it, and well, they have to, don't they? I mean, let's remind our viewers as well that Schalke right now is sitting on no points, so they really need to get something out of this game, more than a point, if they want to play it safe, I guess.
Absolutely. Malcolm on the right-hand side looking to restore Barcelona's 3-2 lead.
Acrobatic clearance there.
Wow, it's pretty special. But Luis Suarez picks it up, almost finds Dembele, smashed away again by Schalke 04. And do you think both of these sides would be happy with a point, or do you think they both want to win this first game and give them, the best possible chance in that second game to go through with 3?
I do think so. I think they both are, ambitious enough to both want the 3 points. As we see Mbolo now putting it in. Monster save.
And that is some save from the Barcelona #1, because that looked like, as the header came in, it was going to glide into the top left-hand corner. But let's make you know, let's not take anything away from the brilliant block from Gerard Piqué there, who is, of course, the founder of eFootball.Pro League. Do you see what I did there?
I see what you're doing.
It wasn't what I was going to do, but as soon as I saw him, I thought I'd pop it in there. So if you're watching Mr. Gerard Piqué, I hope you enjoyed it. As the ball gets played out towards the right-hand side, it gets played in, and it's back with Piqué again. He is really coming to the fore here at the end of this match, trying to win this game for Barcelona, as it's a really late challenge there on Dembele, and the tensions are beginning to raise as Sané is booked. Well, it's a yellow card, that one.
Yeah.
First of the day. And final changes with 5 minutes remaining. And are we going to see a winner, Diego?
How much time do we have left here,
Adam?
What is it?
5 minutes plus stoppage. Well, no, 7 minutes plus stoppage.
Well, anything can happen, that's for sure. I think these guys are not going to sit back and be happy with the 2-2 result. I think they're going to go for the win.
Malcolm challenged by Baba. Now Harid and Schalke come again here. And it's forward down the left-hand side to Bergstuller, and he's got support from Embolo. Brilliant interception again from Gerard Piqué. Challenged by Baba out towards Serda on the right-hand side, and now it's just trickled out of play, and it's just a bit of breather, a bit of respite, because it was just building there.
Just for a little bit,
It's a bit disappointing that we had that break, because we were feeling there might have been a goal coming.
Right now, though, the pressure's relentless. Both teams are clearly looking for
the
third goal.
Finds De Santo in towards Embolo again, headed away. Now Lionel Messi. Is there one last chance here for the team from Spain, FC Barcelona, the La Liga giants? Dembele. Down the left-hand side to Semedo. Now pulls it back towards Dembele again. Lovely skill from Dembele. Headed goalwards. And it looked like the offside flag is raised, and that's disappointing. And it brings that attack to an end, and possibly the last attack of the match, because there is only 1 minute of added-on time remaining. And another breathless game, really, Diego.
Absolutely, Adam. It's end-to-end once again. And how many goals have we seen this match day? What a treat.
Absolutely. Some people say that these big games bring out the worst in the teams. Well, I can only say I've seen some stunning performances all round, and it has finished here incredibly intriguingly. Schalke 04 2, FC Barcelona 2, and we go into the second game where whatever happens in the next game is the outcome of the tie.
Yeah. I think we can expect maybe both teams to be a little bit more adventurous, trying to go for those crucial 3 points.
Or do you think it's going to be even more cagey because there's more pressure, because it's all resting on this game?
I don't know, Adam.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Whatever you say, I'm going to give you the opposite, just to see how you respond. Schalke 04, of course, will be on the left-hand side again, playing in their famous blue and white, and FC Barcelona in the away strip. I believe again we're going to see the yellow. Of course, the players Alex and Pau are playing in their home strips.
Yeah.
And I quite like Alex's joggers, to be honest. I'd like a pair of those if you're watching FC Barcelona.
Or Piqué.
So it's 0-0, and we are, of course, ready for the second game. The time is 6:25 here, local time.
Now, I have to say that the Mike and Matias were looking fairly relaxed, whereas Alex and Pau were discussing intensely, we don't know what, but potentially what how they have to change up their tactics to get the 3 points. What are you expecting for this one? Any change in tactics?
I honestly feel that even though they were so finely balanced, I don't think either team will change much, because they both could have won that game, really. If Schalke had got rid of that early mistake, they could have won. Equally, if Barcelona had been a bit more clinical, they could have won. So we're just going to have to wait and see as Lionel Messi picks up the ball. A rampaging run that we're so used to seeing from the little Argentinian, as Suarez goes through, and the first real chance of the day, and it's a stunning stop there from the Schalke number 1.
What a fantastic stop. Goalkeeper did very well to react quickly in order to prevent Suarez to get that 1-0 lead.
All made by the little magician there, though, who started to grow into that first match in the second half, and he started this second game like he ended the first.
And you're referring to Pau or Messi?
Both. So it is going to be a corner kick, the first of the day. It's in towards Gerard Piqué, great flick on, and Tiddy, and it's down towards the goalkeeper, and again...
Couldn't get enough strength.
Gerard Piqué with a stunning header at the near post, and it caused the Schalke backline all sorts of problems. It ghosted over most of the German players, and of course almost provided the goal there to give Barcelona the lead. And Vidal now plays it to Suarez. We didn't see much of Vidal. I'm not even sure if he was even playing in that first game, so don't quote me on that one. But
I think he was. I think he was.
Well, we didn't see much of him. He's certainly started the game today in and around the action alongside Sergio Busquets, and now Harit picks the ball up, challenge though, and Lionel Messi's there again. They're finding him more and more at the start of this second game, and he's starting to pick possession off, and in this occasion it's intercepted and played forward. Vidal wins it back. Rafinha now finds Luis Suarez, now Roberto, now Coutinho. Lovely one-touch football here from Barcelona, something we're so used to seeing. Philippe Coutinho into the area, cuts back onto his right foot, finds Luis Suarez. Surely the first goal of the game. And the Uruguayan makes absolutely no mistake, and Diego, is that the moment that FC Barcelona take all 3 points today?
Wow, much too early to call, of course. Schalke still has everything to play for. This game only just got underway. Don't know how many minutes we still have left in the first half, but still plenty of time for Schalke to get back into this. They've proven it not only today, they've proven it in the first match day that they are a team that never gives up and is also lethal when they're faced in front of goal.
Well, I asked you that question, and of course, having seen that first game, they came from behind twice to draw 2-2. They're going to have to come from behind again. A bit of a reoccurring pattern here. How many more chances are they going to be allowed to go behind, though? That's the question. And, of course, we questioned... That's the first question, and I'll come back to you with the second one. We questioned whether FC Barcelona would be more clinical in this second game, and that's the first real chance they've scored it. So there are your 2 questions.
Yeah. Well, it seems that they've got 9 lives. Who knows? These guys from Schalke are like cats. They've faced adversity in every single match they've had to play so far, but here they are again, Adam.
Absolutely, and I just realised that I didn't give you 2 questions, just one and a statement. So Tiddy clears it away, and still the pressure on here for Schalke 04. Chance to turn. He turned into trouble though, and Philippe Coutinho, the Brazilian, tracking back and doing his job defensively as well. Something that is so crucial, isn't it, Diego? They're not just doing the offensive work, but chipping in at the back as well when you're a wide player.
Yes, absolutely, Adam. As we see Rafinha now picking up the ball, trying to send Messi running. Is he going to pull back and hold on to it a little bit? Giving up possession to Baba. Chance here for Schalke to hit them on the counter.
Absolutely, it's been a bright 5 minutes or so here from Schalke. Lovely skill there from the left back. Crosses it in towards Mbolo. It was a decent cross that. Mbolo just didn't quite read it. If he'd gone to the near post, it could be 1-1.
Nice little back heel there by Suarez, looking for Coutinho. Barca recuperating the ball. Referee calls a foul.
So 28 minutes gone here, halfway through the first half, really, and it is the Spanish Giants who have that 1-goal advantage. And remember, this is the only game that counts now after the first one finished 2-2. Barcelona twice led.
Lovely bit of pressure there by Schalke. 3 guys jumping on Sergio Roberto to get the ball back, but couldn't do anything with it.
They've not really done much in the attacking third, have they?
No.
I may be proved wrong here as they fly forwards down the left-hand side. Konoplyanka back to Harit now. Konoplyanka again. Now finds right. Now finds Mbolo. Lovely one-touch football. Mbolo again. It could be an own goal. It's still in there.
Not over yet.
It's in.
No, my word.
Wow, we have seen some incredible goals. We've seen some awful goals, and we've seen some just strange goals, and that has to go down as one of those, doesn't it?
Ouch. That one will hurt. That one will not go into the books as one of the more beautiful goals we've seen so far today. Surely not. But what happened there exactly? It seems the ball ricocheted. Just
hit it straight. Yeah, I mean, you could say he could have gone out for a corner. It could have gone really wide. He kind of played it back into the danger, thinking he was going to be able to lift it over the top of the on-rushing striker. But unfortunately, on this occasion, what you can say, though, is the ability of Schalke to press that defensive clearance and force that mistake. You've got to take your hats off to
That's it. You make your own luck, right, Adam?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
here it is. All
we're
square
back
once again.
So the reoccurring theme continues in the second game. FC Barcelona take the lead and Schalke 04 equalise. Can now, for the first time in the match, Schalke take the lead? If they can, we could see a whole different kettle of fish, and then it will be FC Barcelona who are asked the question, can they respond? Right, picks it up. And you feel another goal could be coming here for Schalke.
From the
it's
wing.
Harry. Oh no, what a skill!
Yes!
Oh, what a goal! And look at that celebration, because they know that that was truly special.
The big boys clapping their hands together. They're delighted with that goal.
I don't even think they knew how that happened. How that skill came about, they will only know.
Well, they certainly pounced on the chance, wasting no time, to put that in the back of the net and going up 2-1. Which is a position they haven't seen themselves in yet.
Absolutely. We talk about mistakes in games can change games, but also moments of brilliance. Look at this. Oh, absolutely stunning.
Where was the defense, though, Adam?
Bit of skill there. Well, I mean, you could question the defence, but equally, if he's going to pop that out of the bag, I'm going to apologise for the defenders and let them off the hook. Because that is a world-class attacking play there from the two guys from Germany.
Ever so
stunning.
Happy. And
Mike and Mateus.
They should be happy after such a brilliant goal.
Goal of the day for you?
Wow. Potentially.
Wonderful skill of the day for sure.
Yeah.
As the ball gets played up towards the halfway line. Now it's stick or twist moment for the Germans. Do they go for that killer third goal? Do they shut up shop? Well, it could be 2-2 instantly. And almost another defensive error.
Look at them fighting.
2 minutes remaining here in the first half, and Schalke have a 2-1 lead, but it is hanging by a thread as FC Barcelona come again.
It's
Luis Suarez, and it's just overhit, and that probably will be the last action of the first half. And what a first half it's been.
Wow, electric.
You and Josh called it at the start of the day, match of the day, and it's lived up to the billing, hasn't it?
Wow. Incredible. All shots that have been fired have all been between the sticks. 2 for Schalke, and the 2 ended up in goal, and 3 for Barca.
Wow. So clinical from the Germans. And it will be Schalke who will go for the changes here, whether it's personnel or just a slight tactical formational tweak. We are just waiting to see. I think they're looking at possibly replacing Rudy in the heart of that midfield, and also possibly a change across the back as well. Of course, they could be fooling all of us, which they often like to do. Whenever I say something, they like to then do the complete opposite to make me look very foolish. And that might be the case again here. But we are underway in the second half. The changes have come from FC Barcelona. Malcolm on for Rafinha, an attacking change there from the Spanish Giants. Of course, Pau with 3 goals to his name and 2 assists. Alex with 2 goals and 3 assists. I'm slightly surprised. Are you slightly surprised how few goals Alex has scored in this tournament so far?
Well, I suppose so. Again, I'll refer to your expertise in this area, as now Schalke's got a chance to go up 3-1.
Should have been 3-1 that,
Diego. Should have been 3-1, but no power on that header whatsoever. Relatively easy save for Ter Stegen. But, I mean, Alex normally, certainly, well, we all know his name. We all know his pedigree. A player that is also famous in this world of esports, that normally would have more goals to his name, Adam?
Yeah, you would think that, and he might have to pull something out of the bag, a rabbit out of the hat, you could say, if FC Barcelona are going to get an equalising goal here, because they trail to the Germans by 2-1. Roberto finds Suarez. This is much better from Barcelona. Malcolm has got support from Philippe Coutinho. Again, the pass is just lacking, and it's pretty much summed up their second half so far in the 60 minutes we've seen. But that's another mistake that's creeping in to the Schalke game, and we've got the equalising goal. It's 2-2. It's Schalke 2, Barcelona 2.
This is incredible.
This is surely the game of the day so far. 2-2 in the first game. It's 2-2 in the second game. Are we going to finally see a winner? Because right now, we just can't separate these two teams. Or is it going to finish our first two draws. First two draws of the tournament so far. Too many draws to say.
Who knows, Adam? I think there's still a lot of goals left in this game. If only it could last longer. I mean, we're being treated to an absolute goal fest. Lovely bit of skill there as well, managing to hold on to the ball, to put in that deadly cross.
Luis Suarez doesn't miss those, does he?
Absolutely not.
I mean, we could be going on till midday Tuesday, and this would still be a draw.
And we see Alex there encouraging his teammate Pau to stay focused, stay into the game, because they still have everything to play for, namely those 3 vital points.
So, how important, Diego, now, as we tick into that final section, not only of this game, but of the 2 games in general, how important now is it to make the right decisions, not only formation, tactics, but also personnel? Do you freshen your legs, or do you keep your best men on the field?
Well, right now, I think, you're nearing that 60th minute mark. 65th minute is where you want to kind of look at substitutions. Well, we see Schalke making substitutions. We'll see if Barca will want to do the same thing. Schalke, I think, using all 3 there. Coutinho coming off and Dembélé coming back in, as well as Semedo for Sergio Roberto. So, yeah, both teams opting for fresh legs.
Yep. And, of course, the main change there for Schalke 04 was Franco De Santo coming on in place of Konoplyanka, as you stated, half an hour remaining, and this now is crunch time. We have had an epic first 90 minutes.
You said.
We have had an epic 60 minutes in this second set of 90 minutes. What does the remaining 30 minutes have in store? And that was a lot of maths, a lot of digits there as the ball gets played through. It's right, and Schalke are back in front for the second time in the match. They've taken the game by the scruff of the neck. They lead by 3-2. Alex Alguacil looks so frustrated as he looks at the floor and mutters a few words that I'm sure mean, what are we doing? Because that could be crucial, and that would give Schalke 3 points in the tournament table so far if they can hold on to this, and it would drag Barcelona back to 3 points as well from a possible 4.
Well spotted there. What a deadly pass right down to the middle. Seeing the open man, not wasting any time.
Is that a defensive error for you, not tracking your runner, or do you?
I think
so.
I think the defense was looking sloppy here, to be really honest, Adam.
Tired legs?
Yeah,
because most of the changes were in the attacking third.
Yes, exactly. Well, we did see Semedo come in for Sergio Roberto, but a little bit of sloppy bit of the defending there on Barca's behalf. Mistakes really that now can cost you dearly. I mean, we're in the 65th minute. That 3rd goal will be a massive boost to the confidence of Micah Matias as we now see them on the attack again. Can he put in a cross? He does! Oh, just wide.
And it's moments like that that can shape seasons, because had that have gone in, that would have given them a 4-2 lead, and surely all 3 points here in the eFootball.Pro League Matchday 2, and El Matador knows that as well.
El Matador.
That face on his head there said it all. It was a huge moment in this match, and really one that someone of his level, his standard should be taking, shouldn't he?
Hey, listen, he's not called El Matador for nothing, right?
So, how do they win this game now?
Well,
do they shut up shop, or do they keep going for 4-2?
Looking at the body language there from the 2 Barca players, they're leaning forward. From their faces, you can tell that they're certainly disappointed with the scoreline. But
he looks a bit deflated, doesn't he, Alex?
He
looks a bit beaten already, which surprises me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Knowing how much he's won in the game, it surprises me how down he looks.
Absolutely.
When they just need one goal.
Yeah, exactly. They can still certainly get a point, if not all 3 points. I mean, the time is on their side. They're in the 67th minute. We've seen crazier things happen today. How many goals did we see in the first opening 3-4 minutes in the previous game?
Absolutely, and we've also seen multiple equalisers as well. So if there is a result that we can expect, or should be able to expect, it is, of course, a draw, because it has been so finely balanced. And, of course, one mistake or one moment of brilliance could change this game again, and we could be seeing 3-3. We could also be seeing 4-2, and all 3 points heading to the German players.
Suarez now to Dembélé. Will he go for the shot? Goes for the pass. Oh.
So the offside flag is raised, and He's
it's
given
a
a free
foul.
kick. I thought it was an offside, but the referee's seen something that we clearly didn't from up here in the gantry. And more importantly, this is a huge chance. It's just inside the D, just a yard outside the area. And a chance here for someone of Luis Suarez's ability. You would feel if he gets this on target from this sort of range, we could be seeing an equalising
capable
goal.
of doing so. He's got Messi right in front of him. Will he pass the ball to the little Argentinian instead?
Exactly. Hearts pounding here in the Schalke supporters' end behind the goal. They know this is a huge moment in the match. He's gone short towards Dembele. Saved by the goalkeeper and turned away. And another huge stop from the Schalke #1. He's made countless saves today to deny Dembele and co.
What a stop. What a stop after a lovely bit of interconnecting play.
They've got
Great
another
set play.
free kick. Pressure mounting. You had a sense in the last game which didn't come, didn't come into fruition. Do you get another sense now that there's a goal coming?
We'll see. I feel like they're cooking something up, that's for sure.
Luis Suarez.
Anything can happen.
Finds Dembele out on that far touchline. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Dembele's escaped his marker. Lovely play from Dembele. Oh my word. Goalkeeper surely has to take the plaudits if this score remains the same. What a performance from that man.
Absolutely. What a save.
It came
almost
in him
identical as the previous shot on goal, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and it was not only the athleticism, but how quickly he got down at such a short distance from the strike. It was just incredible.
Yeah. I see Pau's eyes there widening. He might be sensing something, smelling a little bit of blood. Feel that maybe they can get something out of this game in these dying minutes.
The siege continues here from the Spanish Giants. Lionel Messi down the right-hand side, support from Dembele and Luis Suarez, and all the main players now are joining the attack as Sane just whacks the ball anywhere will do as tension rises in the German camp. Lionel Messi in towards Gerard Piqué. Oh, what a story that would have been as it gets fired away by Sane, and the Germans can breathe a sigh of relief. 9 minutes remaining in our final match here of Matchday 2 in the eFootball.Pro League. Dembele, Malcolm fired away again. Every time they get possession, they whack it forwards and it comes back at them again. But there's a mistake here for Barcelona, and Harrit just can't quite get on it. And Barcelona will build again out towards the right-hand side. Support from Malcolm down the line. Lionel Messi through the middle in towards Vidal. Support from Luis Suarez, who he tries to pick out, but the Uruguayan was marked well. It's back with Dembele. Still Barcelona come again. It's Luis Suarez out towards Dembele. Just 4 minutes on the clock. Can he get it? Fired away again. You've got to be impressed with the Germans, how resolute they defended in the second half.
Always, absolutely. These boys, they're not only big boys, they're made out of steel. And they certainly know how to defend and cope with an amount of pressure that I don't know if I'd be able to cope with, I should say.
Absolutely. Franco De Santo fires out of play again. They are just literally getting possession and losing it within seconds because they know they are just seconds away from 3 hugely important points in the eFootball.Pro League, and it could shape their whole season because this would bring them right back into the pack.
Absolutely, Adam. Massive chance here for them to get 3 points. The 3 points that they missed out on in Matchday 1. Schalke wants it. They, of course, want to advance directly to that stage, the final stage, without having to pass through the last chance group. But and they have a great chance right now to do so.
Absolutely. So just a matter of seconds away. Pau looks to the heavens. I think he knows this might be one that has got away. But Pau, my friend, never say never. 3 minutes. If we know anything about the PES League, or PES in general, or eFootball.Pro, is that you cannot ever switch off because anything can happen. That was a poor throw, though. And the pressure has been relieved again. One final push for Schalke to see it through.
Surely.
Franco De Santo, can he get there first?
Advantage.
Yes, he can. And he plays the ball out of play. They've got a free kick by the looks of things. No, he's given a...
Interesting.
He's given a yellow card, but he's given a throw instead as Dembele picks it up. And this is the final chance for FC Barcelona. If they score now, it's 1 point apiece. If it stays the same, it's all 3 points to the Germans. Vidal picks it up. Support on the right-hand side from Malcolm. And Messi and Suarez and Dembele in the middle. It's a really weak pass there from Malcolm, and that might just be that. It's fired out of play for a throw. I'm running out of words. I've been talking non-stop for about 16 minutes because the pressure has been relentless. And I'm dying for the final whistle myself.
Can he still get a shot in? Can
just
he still
seconds coming here. Vidal.
Vidal is open.
Surely. He's wasting his own time. But he knows that this might be it. It's a long throw. It's headed on into the danger area. It's Dembele. He can't get the shot in. It's fired away. All eyes on the referee. The white hasn't he blown the whistle. It's still in the danger area. And they finally clear the danger. It's finished here. A massive result for the Germans. Schalke 04 3, FC Barcelona 2. And what a performance from the Germans. I'm absolutely shell-shocked after that because both teams were absolutely brilliant. It was a joy to watch. Commiserations to the Spaniards because you kind of felt overall they deserved a point on the day. They drew the first game 2-2. They lost out to a moment of magic really in that final game. And we will see some highlights here and hopefully that magic goal towards the end as Coutinho was the first man on the score sheet for the Spanish Giants as he left foot fired past the goalkeeper, and it was Alex Alguacil who got that goal and gave them the 1-0 lead. And then a chance here for 2-0, and this was a big moment because had they gone 2-0 up, it would have been probably curtains there in that first game. It ricocheted onto the post and back out, and then of course, as you well know, Schalke 04 got the equalising goal to make it 1-1 right on the stroke of half-time. Brilliant hassling there from Mbolo, and then picked out Harat, and what a finish that was from that man. Lovely play overall, a brilliant team goal, and we were saying at the time possibly goal of the day in terms of team goal, but we'll save that for a later goal because we saw something truly brilliant as Roberto found Coutinho, who scored another stunning goal on his left foot, picked out by Sergio Roberto and fired past the German goalkeeper, who on his day was truly brilliant as well to keep Barcelona out in that second game, in the second half particularly, as Mbolo then went through and scored another goal there. A very clinical finish with the outside of his right boot. The goalkeeper came out, tried to make himself big, but on this occasion it was fired in. And that's what it meant to those two there. We may not get a chance to see all of the goals right now because we will be heading to the mix zone very, very soon to speak to the two sets of players with Diego. But while we're waiting for that, we will grace you with some more stunning highlights as Luis Suarez, of course, fired that one in. And, well, as you can see, we are breathless after all of that. It finished, of course, Schalke 04 with the 3 points because they won that second game 3-2, a stunning goal to win it as well. Commiserations, like I said, to FC Barcelona. They were brilliant on the day, and they have 3 points already in the tournament so far. It was possibly more important for Schalke 04 to get the 3 points, to bring them back into the pack. But we'll talk more in a second because we're going to go right now, as you can see, to Diego Lorin in the mix zone with the losers on the day. They're not the losers overall, of course, FC Barcelona. Alex and Pau.
That's it, Adam. You can take a little break from talking. I'm going to have a little chat with Pau and Alex. What a tightly contested match, guys. You guys ended up not getting the 3 points. It was so tight, though. But how do you stop that little bit of skill that ended up giving the 3 points to Schalke?
Well, less disappointing, we have to say. I think we deserve much better result than this one. Well, about the goals, you know, they are stronger than us, faster, taller. We try to put our tiki-taka into the pitch. It's true that we fail a lot of chances. Maybe the problem is not to reach 2 goals up in the first game, also in the second one. We was taking the lead every time, but you know, they take some mini mistakes that we did with the defense.
But in general, I think we play well. We play well, much better than the first round. I think if we keep going for this way, I'm pretty sure we'll be on top. But you know, we are Barca. This week we had the mistake of not have Boateng on the pitch. Maybe it's not the key, but everybody knows. But in general, not happy, but we know we could be on top. That's important.
Sure. I mean, you guys, you're saying that you're still confident in your style of play. You often mention that you're more comfortable giving up the possession as opposed to having it. Is that moving forward still the game plan, or could we possibly see a switch of tactics?
No, that changed. It's true that for the first round, for the first match day, we didn't reach with a good level. We didn't bring here to with a good level. But looking at all the games, we have to be confident with ourselves. We see how play them. They try not to risk any moment. It's true, we have Barca. We need to risk a lot. So that's the payment. No, I think you risk. They take your mini mistakes and they beat you. But well, I hope people at home enjoy the game. Sad for not to take the victory. We was very close to that, but well, we will return the next round against Celtic. Yeah.
Well, Alex, the viewers were certainly entertained, and I wish you guys, Pau, all the best of luck moving forward. Thank you, Alex. Adam, back over to you.
Thanks very much, Diego. Lovely to hear from the guys there from FC Barcelona. And of course, one of the biggest things I picked up there from Alex was how crucial that first game was. Of course, like he said, they were 1-0 up. They had a huge chance shortly after to go 2-0 up. And of course, hit the post. It ricocheted around. They weren't able to get that final touch to turn it over the line. And of course, after that, it never really got to a 2-goal cushion sort of game. That would have given them 3 points from that first game, and they would have been able to go on and possibly win it overall. But as you can see, we have not them on the screen now. We have the winners on the day of Matchday 2, Schalke 04. Of course, Diego, take it away with the two guys.
That's it, Adam. I'm now joined by the winners on the day, Matthias and Mike. Guys, congratulations on getting those 3 points. Crucial in your case, because coming in, you had no points. What was the game plan heading into facing such a powerful side as FC Barcelona?
Yeah, we knew that Barcelona was very good with the ball. So, yeah, we had a lot of problems at the beginning, I think, in the first game. And then the plan was to take the ball and make it more calm. And yeah, at the end, I think the win is, yeah, it could be a draw, but I think in the end the win is deserved because in the second game we had a lot of clearly chances. Yeah, that's football.
It was a deserved win. It was a tightly contested match, both of them for that matter. 2-2 the first one, then 3-2, which was decided by a lovely bit of skill. Is that something you practice, and how do you keep your head so cool under so much pressure?
Yeah, we're playing PES over 15 years now, so I think I have seen everything in the game, every constellation that can happen. So yeah, 1-0 behind us is nothing in PES. So yeah, the plan was to keep the ball more than Barcelona, to take him from them, and yeah, it was. I think it was a good plan at the end.
It certainly worked out for you guys. Again, congratulations on the win, and I wish you lots of success going forward. Thank you, guys. I'm here joined by these happy winners on the day, and back over to you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Diego. Congratulations again to Mike and Matthias there. A wonderful performance, really up against a very, very good Barcelona team. And, of course, a hugely important one as well, because it drags them right back up into contention for those top 3 places. They now sit on 3 points from 6. And, of course, Barcelona are on 3 as well. So that has dragged them down into that fighting position for the top 3. Of course, we are going to get an MVP decision from our PES pundit, Jos, very soon as well in our analysis program. And you guys at home can vote on Twitter as well, at eFootball.Pro, for your favourite player from today. But we are going to go to a video of our expert show so you can see how it's going to run.
Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We are at the High Video Studios, the home base of the eFootball.Pro here in Barcelona. And I would like to show you guys a tour at our studios. So come take a look inside. Okay, so we are inside the eFootball.Pro home base, and let's start off with the practice area of the eFootball.Pro competition. As you can see, this is Billy.
Hi, Nominator. How are you doing?
Could you tell me something about this area?
Well, this is the training room, or the boiling area is where players can practice before the match, so they can relax here as well and focus on the game they got in front of them.
So that was the practice area, and let's move on to the part where the magic happens. So we are at the studio, starting off with this set area, and here with me is Anna. Anna, can you tell me something about this set area?
Yes, we are in the set area for record videos with players, so we will see this area really often.
That's very nice. So we are at the area where the real magic happens. If you come take a closer look, you can see this is the desk where all the casters will be sitting and analyze the games. So this is the area where all the casters will sit, and this is actually my seat where I'll be analyzing all the matches. We are at the best part of the studio, the digital playground of the players. And as you can see, we got 2 tables where the players will be sitting and playing against each other. And let's take a closer look at one of the tables to know what the players feel and to see what they see in front of them. Okay, so this is the area where the players will be seated. And as you can see, each player will get his own monitor, his own DualShock 4 controller and a headset. And as you can see, there's an extra microphone and a camera to show the emotions to the viewers at home. Okay, so we are at the OB van, and let's have a look inside. As you can see, these are one of the guys behind the scenes. Could you tell me something about this area?
Well, this is the high videos of the van. From here we can control the whole cameras, the sound, produce and broadcast the event.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. Okay, as last, we have the beep zone. This is the area where the players can relax before or after the matches. And as you can see, it has a beautiful view over the studio, moments before the start of the first match day.
Thanks for that, Jos. Lovely to see, behind the scenes a little bit for the guys that are, watching at home. That possibly, it looks the glitz and the glamour, and it's still the same behind the scenes as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's state of the art over here, state of the art studio. It's such a delight to be working with such a professional team and be seated against esports royalty.
Stop it. Right, so of course we've got the results on your screen now. We've got Diego, do you want to run us down what we've seen today?
Yeah, so we see here Nantes and Monaco sharing the points there, both being awarded the 1 point. Celtic, on the other hand, in their match against Boavista, taking all 3, as well as Schalke taking the 3 points in their matchup against Barça.
Yeah, exactly, and of course FC Nantes and Monaco, a game apiece, they won.
Yeah.
Celtic won the first game and then drew the second game, which left them with the win, and of course Schalke 0-4 and won their second game. The first game was a draw as well, so that's why they are like that. Final, I mean, you can see on the graphics here the actual table. Diego, how has that left things?
Well, incredibly exciting, Adam. We see Celtic there taking the lead strong there with 6 out of 6 points, closely followed though by Monaco with 4. Schalke and Barça both now with 3, Nantes with 1, and Boavista finishing the table with no points to their name so far.
Absolutely, and you've only got to feel how strong these teams are, considering FC Nantes and Boavista played brilliantly today, really, and they've got 1 and 0 points. I mean, it's just a credit to the tournament as a whole, isn't it?
It's a credit to the tournament, credit also to the players, just the amount of skill that all these players have, because that is certainly not reflecting what we are seeing in every single game.
Absolutely, and we've seen how Matchday 2 has finished here. Diego, what have we got for Matchday 3?
Well, Matchday 3 sees Barça square off against Celtic FC. Clash of the Titans.
Is that straight away your...
I would say so. I mean, even, judging on the way the table is right now, it's 3 vital points for Barça if they want to stay in the running to reach the latter stages of this competition. So Barça against Celtic is certainly my pick of the day. But, take nothing away from Schalke against Nantes, who are also both in need of points. Schalke now with their first 3 points, and Nantes, of course, still want to be in the mix as well. And finally, Boavista against Monaco.
And, of course, Eterito propping up well, not propping up, leading that goal score table there with 8 goals scored. I mean, the man is a machine.
He is.
And it goes down to 5 with Goul after that goals scored in that last setup. And Lotfi as well on 5. So there's a few players that could be potentially fighting out for the golden boot.
Look at Powell with 4.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of players looking for that golden boot. Eterito still the man to beat right now. Any last words from you, Diego, on how you saw not only the final? Well, yeah, we'll start with the final game. Any last words? How do you think
I was
that went?
just so impressed, and I was asking Mike, how do you stay so calm under pressure to pull out such a miracle little bit of skill in order to get the win? And he said afterwards, he was like, well, I just pressed the square or the triangle button 3 times.
So calm, so composed. Was that your moment of the whole match day as a whole? That goal, that
right
bit of
now,
skill.
That's the one that stands out for me. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the most crucial, that turning point in the game to give them the 3-2 lead.
Yeah.
Of course. That's pretty much it. It's been an absolute pleasure, Diego, casting with you today. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'm sure you have. My name's been Adam Butcher, of course, the host, and Diego as well, a man of many talents. He does everything here. Thanks to the tech guys that have been able to put this show on the road. Thanks to Konami, of course, who have the game, the series Pro Evolution Soccer, and made it possible. And a massive thanks, of course, to the clubs and, of course, the players as well. Without these guys, it wouldn't be possible. So make sure you stay tuned on all of our social medias. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at eFootball.Pro for all of the content coming over the next few weeks, including a preview show and analysis show as well of today coming, where we get the wonderful Jos, our PES expert, in this studio to find out what he thinks of what we've seen. Stay tuned for that. We'll love you and leave you. We'll see you in the next one. See you later.